Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Bruce here at Stock Markets with Bruce. It's Uncle Bruce. I'm wearing my green shirt for you today because maybe we can have an update, please. Wouldn't that be nice? We'll see what happens. Can't complain about the big market. The Dow had a big day Monday, had a up day yesterday. It's up in the pre-market this morning. This is Wednesday, June the 23rd, 2021. So, let's keep it going. Let's see if some of the stocks we love to follow are going to have a good day today too. Cross our fingers for that. I noticed that GameStop is up $2.13 in the pre-market this morning. It's at 222.53. That's a good thing. And then I noticed that 23andMe, they're up 9 cents this morning to 11.76. Pardon me. And I noticed that. What was the other one I was looking at? SoFi is at 21.42, up 22 cents this morning. And over at Gore's Holding, we're up 7 cents on the pre-market to 15.10. So we have a little, a little positive movement here and there. We'll take anything we can get. What the hey. I was just thinking too about I was reading a couple comments that came in here this morning, and I got one gentleman here who was not a fan, apparently. He's a member, but he's calling me a shill. I was just thinking, thank God for the shill money. I mean, if I wasn't getting all this shill money, I'd be broke. I mean, thank gosh. But then I thought, wait a minute, shill money. Well, who's paying me? Who's like, where does this shill money come from? Like, are all you viewers paying me as a shill to be a shill? I don't know where this money comes. I don't know where this magical shill money exists. I wish I knew. And if they could pay me some really big money, like 200,000 a month to be here, I'd be a shill. But no one does that. I have to earn it all by myself. I have to be on the air 5 hours a day on 2 live shows. Then I have to do private sessions, one-on-ones. And now I'm creating classes. All the while trying to stay. I used to be cool. That's right, Vilbas. I used to be cool, and I'm not cool anymore. Man, Bruce, you're just not cool anymore, buddy. You used to be cool. I don't know what made me cool before. Oh, wait a minute. I think I remember. Yeah. I remember what made me cool. What made me cool was I didn't talk about AMC in any detail. I only just commented on the stock price. But what made me uncool was when someone asked me, what's your opinion? What do you think about AMC? And then I gave my opinion on it. That made me uncool. As soon as you start, telling us what you think might happen, or what you think a situation looks like, or what you interpret a situation is, that's uncool. You can't be doing that, Bruce. And of course, the minute you're uncool, you're a shill. That goes hand in hand, because, see, non-shills are cool, shills are uncool, and it comes right back to the AMC stock, and that's the way it is. Okay, well, all right. I can't change some people's minds. There's no way I can change people's minds, and so I have to live with the sentence I've been given, live with the label. The uncool shill. But I tell you, I must be working for free, because I don't see any money coming from shill sources of any kind. I don't even know where I'd look. I don't know what is shill money? Like, where does that, like, who pays me this? How does this come to me? I have no idea. So I'm just here going, hey man, I'm in Creston, British Columbia here in Canada. Thank you, everybody. A couple miles north of the U.S. border, where all the shills live. And just saying hi, how are you? What's going on? And hope you're having a good day today. It's going to be warm up here. I know it's going to be warm where a lot of you guys are. So I can't complain how hot it's going to be here, because I have heard and I know how warm it is where some of you guys are, and it is incredible. So no issues, no worries. We don't have to compare misery with each other on that front. But I will say, next week we hit a temperature around here that is rare. We're going to hit on Monday 102, Tuesday 106. 106 degrees Fahrenheit next week, Tuesday, for the high, and 100 on Wednesday. So 102, 106, 100 for 3 solid days here. 100-degree temperatures are not, impossible for us. Pardon me. But to get into the 106 neighborhood, that is highly unusual for us to get to that kind of a temperature. Mid to high 90s, yeah, we can do that. But another 10 degrees, that is something else. And I can tell you that in this province of British Columbia, there have been warnings. There have been warnings and warnings and warnings and warnings and pre-warnings. Like, I mean, pre-warnings of this weather coming. And we have already been getting the warnings with the mid 80s temperatures and low 90s. They're cautioning all of us: drink a lot of water, don't be in the sun directly, like, don't go for long walks in the middle of the day on the pavement. Like, these are safety tips in Canada that we like to follow. Of course, we Canadians, we know how warm pavement can get. Even in the wintertime, we note that when the sun is shining in the middle of the winter, the driveway melts out if it's got a black surface on the pavement, because the radiation from the sun works to melt the snow. And you shovel your driveway, and then you find that the sun comes by, and even if it's 5 below, or like, say, Fahrenheit, it's like 20 degrees Fahrenheit, the sun shines on your driveway, it'll still burn off the last of the snow, because the power of the sun is powerful, even in the winter. But in the summertime, we apparently need to be reminded: don't go for long walks on black asphalt in the open sun without a hat and a lot of water, and be careful. But I guess we need help in that regard. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Glad you're here with me today. It's nice to see you all. And welcome to the channel, friends and foe alike. Welcome to the channel today. What's going to happen is the big question. The Dow is up 58 points in the pre-market. S&P is up 4.5 roughly. Nasdaq is up 14. Oil is up another 82 cents a barrel to 73.67. There are actually analysts calling for $100 a barrel oil. My recommendation to every oil company, in North America, and especially in Canada, in Alberta, where I used to live, you should be selling your oil futures right now for the next 3 years. Just sell all your production off at these prices and lock in, which is the equivalent of 73 American, which is, as much as about 90 Canadian dollars or 88 Canadian. That'll guarantee your cash flow for the next 2 or 3 years. All the oil you can produce, you can sell at these crazy prices, because this is ridiculous. We're drowning in this stuff. There is so much of it. It's everywhere. There are no shortages of gasoline in any gas station anywhere in North America. There are no issues. But this thinking of this hot new economy, this brand new opening economy, we got going, just going to make oil go higher. I don't buy it. I do not buy it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna buy that notion. But hey, speculators can speculate, and that's what's happening right now. And if you bought at 66, you're going to keep promoting it at 73 and say, oh, it's going higher, because you've got every reason to want it to go higher. You're in at 66. If you're in at 68, 70, 71, you still want to promote it too. I just am amazed that suckers are coming around to pay these prices, that there are actually futures contract buyers at these stupid, insane prices for no reason, because there's no shortage. There's no oil shortage anywhere in the world. But yeah. What can I tell you? So that's what we got going on over there. Wow, I heard this morning that Microsoft passed the $2 trillion market cap number. I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, with their shares going up and up. Congratulations to Microsoft. They are the world's number 2 most valuable company behind Apple. Apple is, I believe, 2.6 trillion. If I recall. Let me just double check here. I want to get my facts straight here, folks. I don't want to mislead you. Let's clarify that. Apple is $2.23 trillion. And at Microsoft now, it's $2 trillion. If you take a look at, say, maybe, well, Amazon is 1.7 trillion. Google, which is Alphabet, 1.6 trillion. So we have a number of companies in the $1 trillion club. Quite a number of them are in the $1 trillion club. These are the FANG stocks, and they continue to just kick butt and grow, grow, and grow. That's what they're about. And the world is the world is investing in these companies like big time. Ji Kang Zhao, thank you for a donation on PayPal. It just came in. Appreciate that. That's awful kind of you. Cisco is $224 billion. Walmart is $384 billion. Um, Costco is $173 billion market cap. JP Morgan is $454 billion market cap. Goldman Sachs is $121 billion market cap. I mean, these companies are chump change compared to the big boys. The high end Netflix is only $225 billion market cap. So there's a lot of upside for some of these guys. AT&T is a $200 billion market cap, just so you know. So some of these other giants are just not that giant when compared to these bigwigs over here. Quite interesting how valuable these companies have become. IBM is 130 billion, and Home Depot is 332 billion dollars in market cap, one seventh the size of Apple. And Home Depot has stores everywhere, and they're gigantic. And Apple has small stores and shopping malls, and they do all their other work online. It's amazing, isn't it? And of course, Apple gets other people to sell their stuff for them, which of course they do through telephone companies and other entities. Very amazing system in increíble, we like to say up here. So way to go, Microsoft. $2 billion market cap, $2 trillion market cap, I should say. Way to go. I remember about, oh boy, this is about 25 years ago. This is in the mid 90s. Yeah, that's 25 years ago. I can't believe when I say that. When I say 25 years ago, the mid 90s, I can't believe I'm saying that. I remember when I used to say 25 years ago in 1965, but now I say the mid 90s. I can't believe I'm that old myself. In any event, I remember back at that time, the Canadian banking company, the Canadian banks were having troubles, PR problems. They were having public relations problems because in Canada there are five what we call major banks that dominate the retail banking and mortgage business and car loan business. The five big banks. They're very well funded. They're incredibly strong financially. They've weathered through 2008 and 2009 no problem. They've gone through recessions and everything. They're solid, and they have a very solid share of the Canadian banking business. And I believe it was Royal Bank of Canada, the biggest one of the five. They had a PR problem back in the mid 90s, and it made national news. This was national news in Canada in the 90s, and the news was that they were going to come out with their annual report. And it was due the next day, like the next day was due, and market analysts in Toronto, where the stock is traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange. It's trading now in New York, of course, as well. But in any event, the market analysts in Toronto, Bay Street Boys, we call them, the Bay Street Boys were predicting that when the Royal would release their financials the next day, that they would announce a profit, after-tax profit, of over $1 billion. It would be like a billion, 1 million or something like that. They would have broken the $1 billion barrier, because the year before they made $945 million in profits, and this year would be the first year of $1 billion. And the public perception was we were outraged. The public was outraged because we were getting nailed on these checking fees and these bounce check charges and all these service charges they were just nailing Canadians with, and Canadians were upset. Well, all five banks had the same problem, one after the other, because within the next 2 or 3 years, the number 2 bank and the number 3 bank broke $1 billion, and the number 4 bank and then the number 5. and they all broke the $1 billion mark. And thankfully, the number five bank, when they broke a billion, it was old news now. Nobody gave a crap about it, but it happened. Then the next crisis took place in the 2000s sometime, when Royal Bank started announcing quarterly $1 billion profits. That was the next problem. That every 3 months they're making $1 billion after tax. What's conveniently not discussed by any of the media at that time, and probably not even to this very day, is they didn't bother to look at the annual report and go through the financials and go back above the net income line, go higher than that, and find how much money in income tax these guys pay, and how many employees they have, and how much income tax the employees pay to the governments, being salaried employees. If you did all the calculations of these banks, like in the case of the Royal Bank of Canada, if you figured out every branch that they had across the country, every branch had property taxes, provincial taxes had to be paid within each province, all the employees' taxes and salary. If you calculate all the taxes actually that are generated and done by this incredible, well-run financial machine, along with the other four, it would dwarf the actual profit at the end of the bottom line, because at the end of the day, when you get down to the final net income, you've paid off everything, and you figure out how much of the salaries go to taxes and how much of the rents they pay are property taxes and their sales taxes and everything else. It's staggering. And the bottom line is that the banking system, like in the United States, Canada, the UK, Britain, it's part of the overall fabric of the economy. I mean, banks and people have to coexist, and they do. And you only hate the bank when they don't give you a loan. Or if they do give you a loan, you hate them when the interest rates go up. But you love the bank when you get a nice big fat interest payment on your money. And you love the bank when you get inside your new car and start the key for the first time you're driving your new car. You go, I just got a brand new car, but I do owe them. I do owe most of the money to the bank for letting me borrow this money to get this machine. Those of us who get our first home or upgrade to a larger house or whatever, we go, wow, we got this home. Well, yeah, the bank let you borrow it to get it. We conveniently forget the convenience of that for a while. But in the media, it's just so much fun to slam the banks and those crooks. These are business people, and they are business people that are very intelligent, and they're very well educated. They're very conservative, and they have a habit, a wonderful habit, of being able to go through the tough times and get through the other side. It's incredible, even with terrible financial scenarios. But I will say that the housing crisis in the U.S., the investment bankers really put themselves out there. They're traditional banks. Your local community bank, these guys weren't involved in the creation of all of these hybrid investment vehicles in 08, 09 that just about sunk the U.S. and world economy. They were just generating mortgages and were being begged by Wall Street, bring us more mortgages. They did. Nonetheless, you either love them or you hate them or you don't care, and they're part of our world, and they're part of the system. And a strong banking system makes for a strong economy. A strong economy makes for a strong country economically, and likely a strong economy in a well-run country makes for a country that is not necessarily interested in wars and picking on other countries and oppressing its people all that much. These are usually democratically run outfits where people have the right to travel freely and read whatever they want to read and what have you. But I will say no country is perfect, of course. But there are some outstanding outfits out there that I'm a big fan of. One being China. Not a fan of China, but that's another discussion for another time. Thank you for joining me today. I don't have much of a rant to really give you today. I am noticing that talk today is about how more and more employees are, the media is trying to say, are mutinying against their employers, or they are refusing to go back to work, or some politicians are trying to use the angle that, well, we give these people so much money not to work, they don't want to work anymore, and they're just lazy, and they're taking more cash out of their unemployment thing than they could possibly make on their job. So, we're going to cut that back. They're getting votes. I heard something like there was a poll where 17% of the people asked responded to a question in the poll, something like, um, "Are you making more money on unemployment than if you were working?" And 17% said yes, but they didn't ask how much. They did like, "How much more are you making?" Or the way the question was worded, it might have even have been kind of like, "Is it as much or more?" Thank you, OH10 Gaming. Oh, 10 Gaming, thank you for that Tesla Fund donation. I appreciate it. That's awful kind. In any event, the politicians seized on this. They go, you see, there's people making more money sitting at home than if they're out there working. We should take those $300 benefits away from those people and get them off their butts and get them out there in the real world. They didn't ask why or how or what the logistics are, but you're not talking to we're not talking about high-end executives sitting at home making more money on unemployment. We're not talking about the middle class either. We're talking about restaurant workers from McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and Dunkin' Donuts and Subway. And we're talking about the grunts that are grunting it out between probably $7 and $15 an hour, depending on where in the country we're talking about, who happen to be getting as much money or slightly more than that because the wage that they're under is so oppressively bad, it takes nothing to beat it from any kind of a benefit. Are these folks out buying Lamborghinis and fast Porsches because of this extra cash? No. Are they ahead of have they saved money? A very few. Most are spending everything they've got trying to stay alive, because in the Western world, you need a certain amount of money to live. And the other thing that they don't talk about also is how many of these people are taking care of somebody in the household. Maybe they're looking after their parents. Maybe they're looking after children who can't go to school, not allowed to go to school. They can't go to work. They can't go to work because they can't get the kids to go to school. And they can't afford home care because at $12 an hour that they're making, they can't afford to pay $10 an hour to have someone look after their kid. And so they're better off being at home and hope that things open up again, and then the kid can go to school and they can go to work and but if we forget all that, let's not talk about that. Let's just accuse people of being lazy. What was the word? I saw something on Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. He had on Alec Baldwin, who I just adore him. I love that guy. He's great. He and Jerry had done a couple episodes together, and Baldwin accused Jerry Seinfeld of being a lazy, shiftless bastard. He said, "You're just a lazy, shiftless bastard. That's all you are." And they both laughed because they know that's not true. But these politicians are accusing Americans of being lazy, and it is heartbreaking to see people who want the vote of these people to turn around and just stab them in the back when they are getting help from the state to survive a freaking pandemic. You're a lazy, shiftless bastard. You pandemic survivor. You, how dare you? What can I say? Some people take advantage of other people in other strange ways to get what they want for themselves. And what are you going to do? Anyway, a lot of folks are telling their employers, thanks, but no thanks. I know you would love to have me back at the office. And I appreciate all you've done for me, but you have to appreciate all I've done for you. And maybe that's not happening right now. Maybe that hasn't happened over the years, where a lot of employers have just not been all that appreciative of their employees. And they've taken them for granted. They've given them cost of living raises for the last decade, which is what, 2% a year. They're holding them back on promos. They're bonusing their top level people and not the folks that help them get there. And they're surprised. All of a sudden, they're surprised after a pandemic and they've been furloughed that they're not welcome back at the, or they want them back at the office, and these folks aren't particularly willing to come back. The other thing that's happened, I think, is a lot of Americans, Canadians, and others have had time to do some research. And the research they're doing is What's it like on the other side of the fence? I've been working for this company over here for 15 years. I've never gone out looking for a job with anybody else. What's it like over at some other companies? I do this for a living. I do this job. I do this job. I do this job. And I get this much money from the firm I'm with. And I've been with them for 15 years. If I did this exact kind of work with 10 different companies, how much would they pay? What do they pay at low to high? How would I fit in maybe in the middle somewhere? And they're realizing, oh my God, I'm like 10,000 a year underpaid. I'm $15,000 a year underpaid. I can make 15,000 a year more switching to another company. And oh, by the way, the company I can switch to, they have a stay-at-home work policy. They would rather that I stay at home and be remote working instead of coming into the office, which saves me this commuting thing. Again, a lot of politicians conveniently omit the reality of life for a lot of you out there when they talk about, we got to get you back to work, man. We got to get you back downtown. The problem about working downtown is if you live in the suburbs, you have to get there and back alive through all kinds of weather, whether you're driving, paying tolls, whether you're training it or busing it or railing it, however you're getting in, however you're getting subwaying it. There's a fee to get there. There's a fee to get back. Now that you're not at home, if you want a coffee, you might have one available for you at the coffee station at the office, but unlikely because most offices have cut that stuff out. You have to go downstairs, down on the main drag somewhere, or send someone down to get to a Starbucks and get a coffee there, or Dunkin' Donut, or whatever. So you're going to spend for a couple of coffees. You're going to spend for some lunch. There are people paying $20, $30 a day to commute in and out, and I'm talking, this is minimum, in and out, plus eating, plus coffees. Those who have cars who are paying 60, 80, 100 bucks a day to park their car. I mean, that's just mind-numbing to me. In any event, there are folks out there spending, let's say, $20 a day to go in and out. That's $100 a week. If you're doing $30 a day with your lunch and what have you, that's $150 a week. That's $600 a month after tax money that you have to pay to get to your work and back, to provide your services to your employer. It's a $600 a month after tax fee that you are paying to do that. Now the employer's going, hey, it's not my problem if you have to eat. I don't have to worry about the fact that you have to eat. Brown bag it, okay? Well, what kind of an existence is this? You're 35 years old and you're eating a sandwich out of a paper bag at the height of your career. You made it, yay! How are those university years and all those degrees you got? Yay! I got to eat a sandwich out of a brown bag. Not quite the career you counted on, huh? Not quite what you're looking for. There's a lot of folks going, screw this. I'd rather sit at home, and if I make 600 less out of the deal, I'm still ahead of the game because I don't have to get up in the morning, shower up, get all purdied up, find my wardrobe, schlep to this damn bus stop in rain, sleet, snow, and everything else, and in blistering heat, handle all the other crowd of people on these buses, some of which are not too pleasant to be near, commuting all the time, then the same thing on the way home, and then all the nonsense at the office. No. I'll take $1,000 a month less gross to not come in because I have to pay it anyway. I'm still just as poor or as rich or as well off as I am now. And people are going, hey, yeah, gee, if I can get $1,000 a month more to work for another company because I'm underpaid and I'm not paying $600 a month after tax to get there, which is $1,000 a month gross before taxes and deduction. That's $2,000 a month difference in my life. That's $24,000 a year difference in my life already, financially. And the strain and the stress and the strain of commuting in and commuting out and getting that call at 11 in the morning, your son, your daughter at school is throwing up, they're sick, you have to come and get them out of here. And then figuring that out, getting someone to go get them or leaving work early. And I mean, are you kidding me? This stress, forget about it, man. Can you understand? I can understand why employers are having a hell of a time right now trying to convince their people to come back because they've had time to reflect on the quality of life. and they're reflecting on their futures, and they're reflecting on their objectives and goals, aspirations. And they've also noticed in the last year that life is precious. They've lost relatives and loved ones to this virus and or through natural progression of time. Time is short. Human interaction is short. Family is important as can be. And I'm spending quality time with these children of mine who I am the provider for, and I am the guiding light for their success. And 2 years ago, the reports were coming in to mom and dad from school that some sons and daughters, were having problems, emotional problems at school, being bullied or lack of self-esteem, or they were having eating problems, they were having whatever. And now that mom and dad are around a lot more, these have all gone away. And parents are going, I cannot afford to take the chance to go back to the old routine that I had before and get that life back that I had before. No, quality of life is better now. The household is better now. Things are calm. There are no more of these crazy issues happening. In some cases, I would bet you, well, there are children out there that today are not taking medication, that had to take medication because of doctors' prescriptions or psychology prescriptions up until a year ago. I bet you there are kids today who are now uh, prescription free, living a life without it because things are stable at the house because mom and dad are there, or one or the other are there, or something. There's a big change, much more quality time. I used to love quality time with my daughter on a one-on-one, as has by my wife, and always has, and even today, to this day, we love that. But I remember when my little one was, when she was 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, and then through the teenage years, there would be the daddy-daughter talks. And I really enjoyed the daddy-daughter talks. I really enjoyed it, and I made a big effort to always be available as that one person that you could say anything to and ask anything of, for advice or guidance or whatever, and there would be no laughing, and there would be no teasing, there would be no nothing. It's an open door, open anything policy. And when we were alone, we could freely converse. And I bet you there are a ton of you out there in the last year that have had more of this time with your kids than you've ever had before, ever, because you're home Monday to Friday. You're there. You're there, whether you're driving them to a friend's house or doing this or doing that, whatever you're doing with them. Even just making food in the kitchen together. I mean, something as basic as that. There are probably have been moments in the last year and a half for a lot of you out there who have had quality one-on-one time with your children from every age, from 3 all the way up, that you've never had before, and you do not want to give it up. You've decided, nope, I'm not going back to that old job in that old location anymore. Sorry, I'll make a lateral move, and I'll find a job very close by this house, or I won't even do that. It's going to be a lateral move, a down move, or a tremendously higher move by working out of my home, because I figured out how much I'm really worth in the real world compared to what I was told I was worth. And it was indicated to me by human resources what I was really worth. It's not true. Many of you found out in the last 5 years from time to time that your firm has hired a new person in that department over there, and you got the word that that person makes $5,000 more than you do, or $10,000 more than you do, and you're not getting a raise. They just started at a higher level, because the firm you're with, is realizing that to replace talent costs more money. What they're not putting together is the fact that to replace you with your 10 and 15 years of loyalty and infinite knowledge of the company's inner workings, you are unreplaceable. You cannot be replaced by any one person on the street. It would take perhaps 2 people to replace you with all the knowledge you have, because you've built all this up, and yet you're one of the most underpaid people in the office, because they treat the existings as chattel, and they just keep the costs down. The pressure on management to keep the costs down is relentless. Managers on managers and on managers and VPs, And so when it comes down to you, there is no trickle down. There is no trickle down economy for you. It's just trickle survive. And the only way out and the only way up is to get out. And the COVID virus has opened up many of your eyes. So that's what I'm noticing and I'm hearing and beginning to notice more and more chat on the television about how employers are having a tougher time. And some politicians are trying to bring in their opinion as to why this is. Lazy, shiftless bastards like you guys who just don't want to get off your butts and go back to work. That's the problem right there. If it wasn't for you guys, everything would be just fine. Oh my gosh, Riley is here. How you doing, Riley? Thank you for becoming a member of this channel this morning. I'm glad to see you. How you guys doing out there? Is anyone excited today, nervous today, wondering what's going on today, whatever? Any questions for me? Whatever. I see a lot of you talking to each other, which is great. I appreciate that. I'm working home as a shill. There you go, working home. Work from home shill. All you shills out there, I welcome to the Shill channel, the home of thousands of shillers. We're all here. We're all shilling for ourselves, shilling for our favorite stocks, and shilling for our own lifestyles. We're just a bunch of shillers. And boy, I tell you, how we make it is incredible. The kind of money we get paid to be shillers is incredible. Isn't it great? You got to love how much you're getting paid to be a shill. Yeah. Here you go. Yeah, I hear you there. Some really good comments. Unless a politician is willing to look a common worker in the eye and call them lazy parasites, then I'll take their opinion seriously. Exactly. They don't have the guts. These politicians don't have the guts to walk into a McDonald's and point at all of these $12 an hour employees and call them lazy, shiftless bastards. Because every one of them is going to spit on their French fries in the back row before they get it. Yeah, baby, they're going to get them, but good. Oh, man, it's unbelievable. It is just unbelievable. Cody, all this time and peaceful parenting has been the best. I played with my 14-month-old a full half hour, throwing her on the bed and tickling her before she got tired enough to sleep. Oh, man, I'll tell you. Are you a better parent when you're less stressed? I would think you are much more patient and giving and caring. Yeah, I tell you, the quality of life for some Americans, I would say for a lot of Americans, Canadians and Europeans, really went up. I really believe it. I got to think. I needed Uncle Bruce when I was 25, says Joe. Shilling with Uncle Bruce. There you go. There's the truth right there. Shilling with Uncle Bruce, the new channel name. Oh my gosh. And I'm British, so I must be a shilling. You must be a shilling. You're British, of course. Good morning, Uncle B and everybody from Malo. Eddie, it's funny how politicians reflect on what they are really themselves. Same happens to a lot of bosses. Unbelievable. I'm not going to take a look at Norwegian Airline, no matter how many times you bring this thing up. I'm not taking a look at Norwegian Airline. That airline is a basket case, and I'm not recommending it to anybody ever. Shilling with Uncle Bruce, Shivia. Every channel has a nickname for their members. I guess we are Uncle Bruce's shills now. Easy peasy. There you go. Alex, thanks for becoming a member of the channel today. And our newest shill, we have a new shill called Alex. Everyone here is a shill. Morning, Uncle Bruce. What do you mean by write a call? Is it a sell to open a call? Yes, sell to open is writing a call. That is correct. You are creating a call contract against your stock, and you're writing one up. Technically, you're writing one up. What are you doing? You're hitting the sell to open button. Yes, that's what that is. And then you're putting in a sell order. Projection is a real thing. Welcome, Alex. Welcome. SNDL Shills, these guys are the worst. Pete, there are so many things incorrect about the whole concept of a local policy affecting prices like that. I don't even know where to start. Okay, people talk to each other. It's all right. GameStop, 222. Yes, it is. It's 222. We're still 21 minutes away from opening this morning. Waiting for that. The Dow is up 64 right now. S&P is up 5. NASDAQ up 12. Pre-market so far. The shill pills, new shill alert. Welcome to the Goose Shill Club. I need to change my name to Shill Dog. Shills. I sell shills by the seashore. There you go. One sweet moon. I'm going to Netflix and Shill Daily. Uncle Bruce, why is ME being held down? Why is it being held back? Where do you get that impression? How do you think that's happening? How can a stock be held down? I don't know what that. I know what it is you think it means, but it's just not the case. Stocks they just trade with law of supply and demand. And if there's more for sale, the stock doesn't go anywhere. If there's more wanted, stock usually goes up. That's same with real estate. Same with hot used cars like a 65 Mustang. Go to a car auction, and if there's 25 guys who are bidding on it, the price on that thing's going up. You bring out a 68 AMC Gremlin and no one wants to bid on it, doesn't sell at any price. So it's a law of supply and demand, my man. Right. I like it because as a Norwegian, the flights of the company are really great. Oh, that's great. I don't care. I'm not going to talk about Norwegian. I'm going to try to not talk about Norwegian. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming around here. Free Shilly. I woke up this morning, went outside while checking live chat. It was a little chilly. Economic global warming. Yep, I woke up this morning, got out of bed, ran a comb across my chilly head, made the bus in seconds flat. And I'm a shill, and that's all that. What can I say? Oh my gosh. Here we go. Vash, Bruce, I got to confess, I'm a Betamax shill. Please, everyone, buy Betamax. There you go. Trade like with the law of supply and demand, like GME. Laughing. I live on Blueberry Shill. I've seen a lot of AMC Gremlins lately. I want the AMC. Let's see. Beverly Shillbillies. My representatives, they work on Capitol Shill. Yeah, you want to talk about shills. They're in Congress and Senate. Oh my gosh. Shilly Bob Thornton. My goodness gracious. You guys are shilling me, man. You guys are shilling me. Love that, Uncle Bruce. And the the sketch is getting too shilly. My gosh. When do the shill classes start anyway? I need classes on how to become a shill because I need to make some good money. There you have it. In the shill of the night. Yes, I have to go for a bit. Shall we meet again? Shilly Vanilli. Yes, you remember those guys? The guys at Shilly Vanilli. My city has a museum which has a new exhibit on Shilva. Apparently, she was a diamond-holding goddess in India. There you go. I found my thrill on Blueberry Shill. Best strategy for covered calls, longer or shorter term on the contract. You're going to need to get to the classes. You need my classes, which are coming up very shortly. Shilly Duval instead of Shelley Duval. About that. If you have a last pack of bagels in Canada, Bruce will drive the price to the moon. I found a package of bagels yesterday at the grocery store, the place where I go for my bagels. They didn't have any sesame seed bagels, nothing. There was shelves were empty. All the other, everything was gone. They have like 7 or 8 kinds of bagels, everything gone except for one kind of bagel left, and it was one of these 6 packs of a plain bagel with cheese on top. And what you do is you nuke it, cut it in half, and toast it, and you'll be toasting the cheese on the top to kind of get that. That's the only kind of bagel I could find. I could not find a sesame seed bagel to save my soul last night. I'm gonna have to try again tonight. See what's going on here, Jonathan. Good morning, Bruce. Weather in Sacramento, California, only in the 90s. I'm gonna take this. GameStop to Valhalla. Right on, buddy. GameStop to the moon. I'm walking down Shilly Lane here, fried green shills, Beverly Shillbillies. Let's see here. Suns out, thumbs out. Smash the like button. Thank you, Khalid. Shillin, it's getting out of hand. Big shilly style, licensed to shill. Uncle Bruce, what's the point of owning stocks when I can buy deep in the money calls? What's the point? What's the whole point? Well, if you can get the stock at a nice low price and they make a nice little run for you, which I'm thinking for some of these SPACs, then you can use those shares as instruments with which to write call options against. And you are in effect, say you're writing a call option that brings you a 250 premium for like a month on a per share basis, but you only pay $10 for the stock. It's trading at 25 or 30 bucks, and you're bringing in $2.50 a share. You're bringing in 25% on your money on what you paid for that stock of $10. You're bringing in $2.50 a month now. That's 25% of your investment every month, 12 months a year. I call that a pretty good return on your money. That's kind of like Warren Buffett money. That's one of the benefits of having stock. In the money calls, though, you can buy a bunch, and if you're successful and your stock has a run, you're a winner. If the shares don't have a run, you could break even or be a loser. But if you own stock and you're writing calls on the stock all the time, you're always generating an income. And if you're writing calls on a stock and a stock starts moving up, and you buy the calls back and rewrite new calls on a rollover as the stock keeps rolling in front of you, you are still experiencing the capital gain of the stock as you're rolling out options going forward. But if a stock stagnates for a while, you're generating this income as these options keep shrinking. Write them, they shrink, write them, they shrink. The values, every time they do that, is your money. You're getting paid to stick around for the big payoff you're hoping to come someday, or you're just a long-term fan of the company and or the stock, and you want to generate, you're happy generating a couple 100% a year return on your stock, and you might just keep buying more stock with the option premium. Another advantage to do this, to grow your stock position. You want to have a larger share of shares, or you want to diversify your account, and so you've got 2 or 3 stocks that you're writing options on, and you're taking all those proceeds, option proceeds, into a 4th stock that you're acquiring now to build a position in that one to start writing options on those. And so that's another way to take advantage of this whole thing, as opposed to in the money calls. But in the money calls can give you tremendous leverage, can give you tremendous profits if you guess right and if your timing is right. And the key to in the money options is to make sure you have enough time on your contract to give you a return. How many times am I reading comments every day now? Every day I am getting comments from viewers who are going, I have a contract that expires this week. What should I do? I have a contract expiring next week. What should I do? It expires in 3 weeks. How much longer should I hold it? What should I do? These are questions you shouldn't have if you're an option player. You shouldn't have these questions at all. You should be in a position of a 6-month, 7-month, 8-month contract, giving you plenty of time for the first 90 days to see something happen. And if something doesn't happen in the first 90 days, then you roll out of a contract that still has 4 months to live and roll into a new 7 or 8 month contract. Again, buying yourself another 3 or 4 months of time without risk and stress regarding what's going to happen with this stock. But those are strategies you have to figure out. Shill Street Blues, invest in silver. How about that? Kill shill. My shill and Irene. You're shilling me smalls. Shilly, you can't be serious. Uncle Bruce, even are the Uncle Bruce shills on Redbubble going to be available? Hey Bruce, how long from SEC approval usually until the vote for the mergers? Within a month, usually within a month, and then within a week of that, the stock starts trading as the new company. So Gore's Holdings announced, well, we heard, I guess it was Monday. The shareholder meeting is July the 20th, which was 30 days. And I'm going to guess by July 25, the stock will be trading as Matterport. So the countdown is on now. We know it's going. Let's go. Don't know, Max. I got to watch those Shilwaukee Bucks. All the shills were empty at the supermarket. I'm almost tempted to buy 100 AMC and turn around and sell a call. Yes. There are people who are doing that. And I say, hey, look, if you want to play AMC, the one way to play AMC for upside to 100 or 200 a share you think that's a possibility. One way to do it is to buy the stock right here at 57.40, whatever the heck it is, and immediately write maybe a $70 or $75 call for a couple of months out, and bring in, if you can bring in $15 a share or $20 a share, almost say 15 to 20% of the price of the stock you're paying, or more, maybe even 30 or 40% of the price you're paying, maybe 35% as an option premium in cash. Brilliant. Because you've just taken 50, let's say you get $15. You've just taken the cost of the stock down to $42. And if the shares are in this neighborhood ballpark when the option expires, or your option shrinks dramatically because it's not in the money yet, you buy it back and do a rollover for another 2 or 3 months. You might roll into like 75s or 80s, take in another $15. You've taken your $42 cost average to $27. And if you do it one more time, you've taken your cost average to $12. And all of a sudden, you have nothing, you have no skin in the game anymore. And if you can do this every month to 6 weeks, you could do this maybe 8 times a year, 9 times a year, bringing in $15 every time. If you could do that, you're bringing in $135 on AMC stock from option gamblers. Yeah, and GameStop, that's what I've been screaming at this computer for my viewers to look into. Write GameStop options and take in some serious premium money. Yeah, the gamblers are paying crazy prices for some of these contracts. And in the case of GameStop, you can write $400s, $500s, $600 contracts for January, bring in $50 a contract. My gosh. AMC, you can write up easily $100 contracts on AMC. Write a $100 contract and bring in $10, $12. Or go long enough and bring in $15 on a $100 call option. Oh my gosh, if you get exercised, way to go. Buying at 57 and you're selling at $100 plus the $15 premium, you're getting out $115. There's double your money in 6 months. Anybody think that's a lousy deal? I think that's pretty good. Yeah, anyway, there you have it. Thank you, everybody. Joe was saying, I might not ever love a woman the way I love this group. And Uncle Bruce, I've accepted that and I'm okay with it. Well, Joe, thank you. Not there's anything wrong with that. I appreciate the sentiment. Welcome to the channel. Where there is a shill, there is a way. How about that? Quentin Tarantino has a new movie called Shill Bill. Frommert, the naked shill from Files of the Shill Squad. Yes. How about that? What can I say? Anyway, you recommend do you recommend selling AMC calls 75.80 for 3 months in? I have less than 100 shares. Should I sell uncovered calls to try for 100 first? I would get up to 100 and then write the call right away. You'll get the money back right there. I mean, I don't know how close you are to 100, obviously, but if you're like within 20 shares of 100 shares. Hopefully you can write a call lucrative enough for a high enough price to pay for upwards of 20 shares to get you to 100. Great move. There's a lot of you out there who theoretically could maybe take a bunch of your stock, like AMC, write call options. You'll get enough money to buy 20 or 25% more stock with the proceeds. And in some cases, if you're sitting on, say, 500 shares, you write 5 calls, you have enough money now to buy another 100 plus shares, buy another 100 shares, and write a call on that right away. And now you've got 600 shares, you're writing 6 calls each time. When these options expire, you're going to write 6 and buy another 100 shares easily and start writing 7 each time. And you're compounding your option premium returns every month or 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how long out you go. Hi, Uncle Bruce. How are you doing? What's your take on Michael Burry's recent speculative bubble and crash predictions? I was asked this yesterday, and I get asked this like every second or third day. Michael Burry, smart guy. He's a very, very deep thinker. He's made a lot of wagers. He's made a lot of money. But he has his opinion on where he thinks the economy is going in the markets, and to each his own. I don't think there's a crash coming imminently. I don't. But I'm not Michael Burry. I'm Uncle Bruce. Bruce has his opinion. Michael has his, and we continue on down the road. And peace and harmony for all. Hugs and kisses. Thank you for being here. What can I say? How do you get so many varieties of bagels? We only have plain cinnamon, raisin, blueberry, and the dreaded everything. Not interested in any of those. I mean, what is that? Pat, my face looks just like Shelley Duvall's when I looked at my portfolio yesterday. Gains aren't here right now, Mrs. Torrance. We're ready to open in 5 minutes. Getting closer and closer and closer to opening up for the day. The Dow is up 68 points right now on the pre-market here as we were coming into the opening. S&P is up 5, NASDAQ up 10, and AMC right now is 57.28, down 97 cents on the day. GameStop shares right now are 222.98. And they're up 258 at the moment, threatening 300. We'll see how that opens on the follow through there. 23andMe right now, 11.96, up 29 cents on the pre-market. We'll see that. Hopefully we'll see that through and beyond. Gore's Holdings closing at or sitting right now at 15.14, up 11 cents in the pre-market. ATIP 9.15, down 11 on only 292 shares. So I wouldn't take that quote too seriously with only 292 traded for the whole pre-market. There's nothing going on that stock right now. SoFi, however, is up 20 cents to 21.40 on 50,900 volume now. On the pre-market, it's not heavy either, but there's certainly better than 200 shares. 21.40. They were as high as 21.60, 65, something like that a couple hours ago. See if they want to give us a pop today. Would be kind of nice to see a little jump in that market if it wants to hand it to us. I'm noticing Vector Acquisition at 10.37, up 2 cents, but only on 1,300 volume. So very, very quiet start to the day. Again, pre-markets, very calm, not a lot going on. But the Dow is up 69, S&P up 5.3, NASDAQ up 10.5, GameStop 222.86, and we are 2 minutes away from the open as commercials are now running across the screen on CNBC. License to shill. Oh man, Shill Smith, thou shalt not shill. Yeah, what can I say? 007 in Shill Raker. Shill Bill, to shill a mockingbird, shill loving you. Beverly Shill's cop. Keep shilling, Bruce, because you're making me rich. There you go. Cheryl Bagels, let's see, the 3 Billy Goats shill, shill you marry me, Jefferson shill plane, free shilly. Okay, I'm initiated now. Twisted shillies, we want a shell. We want a shell. Shill like a villain. Good shill hunting. Red hot chili peppers, fat chili surf shack, Philly shill steak. Shill gang, shades, shill gang, natural born shillers. Oh my God, shill gang, chat is shillarious today. Yeah, shilly cheesecake. Oh yeah, dividend stocks plus covered call options is also nice. That's another strategy for IBM holders and others. Yes. Sir Shilliam Wallace says you may take out shorts, but you can never take out our freedom. Take our freedom. We are opening in a minute or so. We're getting very close to opening up, and let's see what happens. If you eat clams, remember to scoop them out and don't eat the shill. Schindler's List. Schindler's List. Oh Lordy, Charlie Shill. We're all on it. We're all on it. Saving Private Shills, Shill Collins. Oh gosh. Dr. G, Bruce, is the real value of a stock equal to the stock price plus the highest in the money call you can write, say January 22 or longer? Is that the real value of the stock? I don't understand how you come to that kind of a conclusion. Value of the stock is just what it's trading for. I'm not sure. I don't quite get your question, so pardon me if I don't get it. It's nothing personal, but I don't quite know where you're coming from. I took your advice and I wrote 2 $500 cover call GameStop contracts for January the 22nd for the first time yesterday. And $7,000 magically appeared in my account. That's what happens. I bought a boatload of ATIP and SOFI on the dip. Now what? Just wait. I need your classes, man. Well, let's see if those shares will benefit you. And you got your nice bunch of dough in that account. Well done. Take the cash and let's run. Austin, thank you for that PayPal donation. We will see you. You got it, Austin. We'll get that happening. Thank you, everybody. Nobody knows the shills that I've seen. Nobody knows but Jesus. Wow. Should we shill now or should we shill later? What do you want? We're opening here. We're getting this market going, and we're having fun with the shill party. We got ourselves a shill party going on here. Sorry, I had to fight at your shill party. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the markets here. See where we're at right now. As Jim Cramer and Dave are talking, we've got SOFI 21.39 so far this morning, up 19 cents to start the morning on 125,000 shares. No news that I'm aware of at this point. Hopefully we'll have good things happen today. GameStop 221.92 up $1.52, sitting at 220.40 over here. ATIP 926 looks like it's up 17 cents as of yesterday. Not trading this morning yet. We don't know. AMC 57.66 down 60 cents. Gores Holdings 15.34 up 31 cents to start the morning. Volume of 30,000 shares so far. I'm noticing that if we can get to the $16 window, another 60 cents, that will be the highest level since March for Gores Holdings. So just so you know, folks, the Gores are slowly coming up and up and up. And if we can get another 60, 70 cents through this market, we'll be at the highest levels in 4 months. So yeah, 3-4 months looking good. 23andMe, 11.85 up 18 cents so far. Volume of 66,000 shares to start the day. Fifth wall acquisition up 2 cents to 11.84. Vectors unchanged. Navsite is up a penny. Starboard unchanged. Vanik up $1.22. Home Depot up 95 cents. IBM up down a quarter. The Dow's up 41 points. Microsoft up 20 cents. Apple down 25 cents. Tesla up $13.48. Bed Bath & Beyond up 35 cents. BlackBerry down 27 cents right at the moment. Cruise lines are ahead by a little bit, around just short of a percentage point. Amazon up 10.50, Facebook up 76 cents, and Google down 3.94. Those are the early returns so far. SOFI 21.39 up 19 cents. It's been 21.30 to 21.45, 21.39 right now on a volume of 192,000 shares. As we get through the opening here and see where everything kind of leads us. We're open now on ATI Physical Therapy. We're now open on it, 9.39 up 13 cents on 4,500 shares. There is nothing for sale. I mean, 4,500 shares moves it up 13 cents. Nothing for sale down here. So that's a good sign. The stock looks like it's dried out. Any kind of a buy volume on ATI, and she could pop 50 cents from what I can see at this point. AMC 56.89 down $1.38. Gore now at 15.36. That is just around the high of the day here on 33,600 shares. 23andMe 11.79 right now. That's what we got going, guys. As we wait and watch this opening market go through its gyrations and see what happens for us. Let me put that over there, and there you go. I don't want that to fall down. Shakespeare, to shill or not to shill? That is the question. Netflix and shill. Bruce, my NSH 12.5 calls for July 16th have gone from 4 cents to 3 cents. What do I do? What do I do? You might want to average down. I don't know. You might have to average down. Let's see here. Short squeeze coming for SOFI, says Mark Blue Skies. 21.36 so far. We hope you're right. AB, as ME actually approaches 12.5 to 13, will my 12.5 ME January calls become more disproportionately valuable time-wise? They could. What might happen, AB, is as these shares approach your strike price, more and more interest builds on them. I'm sure they're popular now, and the 15s are popular now. And so, yeah, the higher these shares go, the more intense those contracts will become, and there could be even higher spreads. Drew, how much shill could a shill chuck shill if a shill chuck could chuck shill? These are questions that I put to all of you out there, especially those of you who hate this channel through AMC. I ask you, hey, what are you guys thinking? Let's see what we can do. Thank you all for being here this morning. I appreciate this. It's nice to see you. Ji Kang Zhao, thank you for your PayPal donation this morning. It's much appreciated. I'm glad you're here. And then Austin Durr, how you doing, buddy? Thanks, Austin. We'll get together, buddy. Looking forward to our get together. Thank you for that donation. People are still coming through to get together with yours truly, and I love it. It's exciting. There's more behind the scenes development going on our classes right now. We're working out the logistics at the moment on a couple of little matters. We're getting them sorted out, and so we're getting closer and more excited all the time. There's going to be a couple of I've got a couple of test runs to put together of the linkage between my new website that's just about to launch and the live classroom system, and then the videos once they're edited. That system, we're trying to get all that to coordinate. There's a lot of behind the scenes work going on right now with website people and others, and I will not bore you or even attempt to describe it to you because utterly impossible for this guy to do that. And so just bear with me. Whole bunch of stuff's going on, man. That's what I can say right there. Whole bunch of stuff's going on, and it's going to be great. 21.33 on SoFi, up 13 cents. Woohoo! We got ATIP 934 up 7. We got AMC finally going positive at 58.73, up 46 cents. Gores 15.35 up 32 cents, and 23andMe 11.83 up 16 cents. So far, the right direction is being indicated for a number of our favorites. Vector acquisition, no volume, no changes, 10.35 from what I can tell you. NSH 9.94 down 2 pennies, nothing much happening there yet. Fifth wall acquisition up 2 cents to 11.84. I think not a lot going on there. There's where we're at. That's what's going down, man. And that's what's going up, and that's what's happening. That's the scene. That is the scene right now. I'm talking 65 jive, baby. That is the scene, you groovy dudes. If you want to be hip, baby, you got to be hip with me in 1965. What other expressions did they have in 1965? Make love, not war. We had the peace sign, I remember all those peace signs being flashed at Woodstock in 1969. Unfortunately, I was only 14 during Woodstock in 1969, so I was about maybe 5 years too young to actually try to go to that. I was within 100, 200 miles away in Southern Ontario living at the time, so I could have gone through Buffalo to get there, but not at age 14. I found it fascinating, though, like a few years later, like when I was 15 and 16 and 17, I mean, those artists were like the artists of that era. So we knew who they were at the time, but I really got to appreciate these artists as I turned into a full-blown teenager. Just too soon for Woodstock for me. I was just a little too young to have had a chance to go to that. Never been to a rock festival. I've never had any thought of wanting to go to a rock festival. Just not my thing. AMC pushing 60. John, you're right. 58.86 right now. Just touched 59 a moment ago. This is a great time to look at writing maybe $80s or $85 calls. You might get some real nice premiums on those. Sex, shill, and rock and roll. How about that? What can I say? If the SoFi continues at these prices, I think we will end up owning the float, laughing out loud. I agree. I keep mentioning the SoFi to all of you guys. If you guys keep picking this stuff up, we'll eventually own it all. Excuse me, sir. I speak jive. That's right. I speak jive from Airplane. I love that. Love that movie. I must be doing something wrong. People only give me the peace sign. No, you're number one. That's what that means. Yeah, but not with this finger. You're number one with another finger. That's what that means. You're number one. Yeah, baby. You're at the top of the heap there. Oh yeah. Did you shill at Woodstock as well? Sheesh, you've been everywhere. Bruce was a greaser. Um, Usually 2 times a day, only for health reasons, though. I hear it helps with prostate cancer. Oh, no. Would you have gone to Woodstock in 69 if you were like 17 plus? I don't think so. Crossing the border, not that it was an onerous thing, but I would say that my parents would have said, if you can go with someone that's 21 and over, that would be better. But I could not have imagined. I can tell you that what I knew, what I was, knowing what I was like at age 17, there was no way I would have had an interest whatsoever to go. And I really wouldn't have wanted to venture that far away from home, because the issues were there was nowhere to stay. There was no food. A lot of kids who came there were expecting when they got there, as they had a few dollars on them. Not that every kid that showed up at Woodstock was broke. I mean, these kids had some bucks on them. Not that they were wealthy, but they had some money. But there was nowhere to stay in a hotel. There was nowhere to eat at a restaurant. There was the bathrooms were these porta potties. I mean, it was unbelievable. And then of course the rain and everything else. Oh my gosh, no shelter. What a mess. Knowing me, if I'd have been 21, 22, I would have done some research on it, and I would probably come up with the conclusion fairly quickly that, oh, no, this is going to be, this is going to be a logistical nightmare, and I cannot imagine having ever gone. But I envy those who did go, and I respect those who did attend, and again, it was one of those incredible moments in the history of the country. It really was a huge turning point for America. It didn't realize it at the time, but the impact that Woodstock has had on so much of America since is incredible. And now that location of that's a pilgrimage site. That is a holy ground. It's pretty cool. Anyway, that's it there. And AB says, I asked my dad once, did you ever do LSD? I was 21 in 1969. I'll let you fill in the blanks, he said. Oh gosh, I had no interest in drugs in that time, in that era. I was, 15 in 1970, and I was 20 by 1975. And I had no interest in any illicit activities whatsoever. I was just not my cup of tea. As a matter of fact, I had the greatest education with regards to stimulants and alcohol and all that sort of stuff. Being an employee of the music store, that really gave me a lot of insight, just awareness of it. And then the fact that I became a musician at age 18, I was able to play licensed venues professionally. And you watch the audience change in front of you from 8 in the evening until 2 in the evening. You witness a complete transformation of the audience from stone cold sober to who knows what. And you quickly look at your bandmates and go, oh man, oh no, I don't, not for me. Thank you. You had to be of a certain personality and ilk. You either could make it as a performer or you couldn't, because those who made it generally did not partake, and those who didn't make it or flamed out very quickly tried to partake and perform, and they didn't last very long. And in my world, where you're making 40, 50, 60 bucks a night, you're not making thousands of dollars a night. I'm not a rock star. I'm just a guy schlepping, playing oompa music. You count your nickels and your dimes and your pennies, and you look at what happens to people when they overindulge, and you go, oh God, I don't want to be that person. I do not want to be that person tomorrow morning. If and when they wake up, I do not want to be that person. So you really stay out of it. Yeah, that was a real education for me, no question. I had to thank my dad too. He also filled me in on that. AMC 60, 6022 on AMC, 216 on GameStop, 2092 on SoFi, down 28 cents. We're down a little bit now. ATIP up 8 cents to 934. Gores 1516 up 13, and 23andMe 1189 up 22 cents. We have a mixed market here. Woodstock was great. It was just 14-year-old. I was 14, just a kid, taking it all in. Ozzy Osbourne, first concert at 14. Oh, man. We slept on the ground in the rain. Yuck. Bruce was not the wild card we thought. Oh, gosh, no. Oh, no. The Who, first concert at 15. Oh, man. DD on Woodstock. Whoa, Ona, you were there. This is really cool. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Nell Stradamus, thank you for this donation. Uncle Bruce, watching and learning lots into SPACs. GME SOFI, Gores, thanks to you. I found one, FRX, which will be the body next week. Yes, fitness lovers will know Beachbody and their pro. Yeah, I've heard of that one. Going to compete with Peloton. Yeah, I'm not I'm not sold on that deal like on these others. Instead of peace signs, I'm always told I'm number one. That's right, Christopher, always number one. SoFi and ATP still good. Yes, they're good. My generation had Lollapalooza. I went to a ton of those. What about the later era? I remember one of my first concerts I went to was at the Canadian National Exhibition. This is a huge, like a big concert. There was like 30,000 of us, and Chicago. I saw Chicago 2 years in a row at the CNE. Loved it. Just so impressed. They were at the top of their game at that time. And then I saw the Rolling Stones in 1974, Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Saw the Stones, and we were on the 12th row beside the stage, just beside the stage, 12th row. So I got to sort of see the band in front of me, the audience behind the band, and then the whole arena in front of them. That was really neat. That was a neat vantage point, and boy, that was a good time. That was phenomenal. Rolling Stones. And I've seen I saw Rick Wakeman live in Maple Leaf Gardens. It was all right. He had been with the group Yes, then he went on his own. This would have been like 74, 75. But not that many other concerts. I saw like small, rock and roll gigs in my hometown in Kitchener, Ontario. But those are the bigger concerts that I had seen. But I just enjoyed the studio tracks. I really enjoyed these groups on the album. Let's see. Thank you, everybody. We've got GameStop at $59.94. We have SoFi, $20.96, down as low as $20.90, a volume of 689,000. So we started a high and then dropped a little, and then a straight down shot from about 2030 something down to 2130 down to 2090, about a 40-cent shot. And we're down 28 cents right now at 20.92 on SoFi. So it obviously ran into a seller who's trying to kill the market on us. It's just a short attack. GameStop 216.50 down 3.90. ATIP 9.32 up 6 cents. Gores at 15.29 up 26 cents. 23andMe 11.92 up 24 cents. So it is building up 161,000 shares. 23andMe 11.91 up 24 cents right now. High of the day 11.95. Very good. Can't complain. Sell AMC call 75 or 80 and 20 August or September 17, 16 to $20 premium depending. Right, there you go. If you can take if you go with an August 75 maybe, that's a nice premium, or you take a September 80, probably a nice premium as well. That's a lot of cash, man. I would grab that kind of money for sure. Considering what you may have paid for it, that could be a very nice, cash in. Beautifully done. The stock 59.69 right now. What instruments did you play? I played drums. I played bass guitar. I played rhythm guitar professionally. I did all three. Bruce, I used to be in a band too. Jam band. When? Bruce, do you know what they say about bass players? I don't want to know. The key to the partake after your band makes it big, not before. What do they say about bass players? I'm a bass player. You don't want to know. You don't know what people think. Someone attacking SoFi. Oh wow. I didn't like drinking on stage, but bands drink for free. So after the show was a different story. I found that I would drive to the gig. I would drive to the gig with my car because of being out of town, 50 miles from home or 30 miles, whatever it is. And I'm done at 1:30 in the morning, driving home at 2 in the morning. I won't drink. I would have had a Ryan Coke, maybe one, maybe during the gig at all, but generally it's just water or cola. But no, did not want to drink during the gigs at all. I wanted to be stone cold sober going home, especially from 40, 50, 80 miles from home in the middle of the night. No, thank you. I wanted to be aware of the drunks on the road that I could avoid if there were any. So always careful for that. And also on Sunday morning when I woke up, I did not want to wake up with a screaming hangover, having had a gig the night before. Oh, no. That was not in my wheelhouse. And thankfully, Jen and I, we got together in my last year of playing professionally. So when I was 21 to 22, we hooked up, and I would take her with me to the gig. So we would go out as a night out to the gig on a Saturday night. And because she was with the band, she would get the free drinks. So I'd make sure I'd give her my free drinks. I'd get like these drink tickets. I'd give them to her, and she could have fun all night long. And the other guys would we'd have our girlfriends or wives come with us. So the gals would hang out and just have a great old time. And they'd be dancing with some of the locals there and having just a wonderful time with free drinks. And then during the 2 hour mark at the halfway point of the gig, we would have a half-hour break for a bite to eat, and we would be fed, no charge. And I'd bring her along, and she would be able to eat as well. And what a perfect night out. I mean, it's a perfect night out, and being paid to do it. Oh gosh. So of course I wouldn't drink at all, and be driving us both home that evening. And keep an eye on the roads for sure, especially in the winter. You don't want to be doing that. No drinking in the winter. Anyway, yeah. Hey, Uncle Bruce, I have a $17.50 strike SOFI for October. That's up between 300 and 500%, depending on the day. Should I be looking to close and roll when it goes back up towards the 500% range? Yeah, I mean, sure. You're 17.5, and the stock's at 21.05 right now. The shares reach that 24, 25 level, you've got yourself a really nice, I hope, position there. Then you can roll over. I mean, you can roll over now if you want, but I would roll over later. Yeah, I would grab, take the gain, take a nice gain here. So if you're going to do a rollover, you can afford to do a rollover maybe into next April or May, because by the time, like a month or two from now, by that point, there might be contracts beyond next January available on SOFI, and you can go longer than what you have here from October into next summer or spring. Will SOFI ever print? Question mark. Drew, same thing. 100,000 red candle. How important is it to trade options with high open interest versus low open interest? That's something we'll do in the classroom as well. We'll talk about all that kind of detail. We'll get into that a little bit later. There's reasons for both sometimes. We'll get into that. We making a band here. Morning, Ashley. Shill attack on SOFI. Let me guess. They say bass players are shills. My first concert was the Beastie Boys. Oh my gosh. The Beastie Boys. Oh, wow. That January $500 strike GameStop called sounded so good. I had to write one. Bought another 100 SOFI plus a few contracts with it. There you go. Beautiful. Stone Cold Temple Pilots, Hot Chili Peppers co-headlining a show for my first ever concert. My goodness. One of my coworkers went to see The Who at Cincinnati Riverfront when people got trampled and died trying to get in. Oh my gosh, those days. They were just not organized. What happens if you play a Chicago album backwards? It sounds like Detroit. I don't know. That's a damn good one. My first live show was Sam Kinison stand-up. Oh my God. Sam Kinison stand-up. Oh my word. Oh, Lordy Lou. You never forget that for the rest of your life. That's seared into your memory forever. Oh my gosh. I loved Sam Kinison, his early work. I loved that. Hilarious. I saw Pink Floyd at the CNE. Oh man, I was supposed to go see Buddy Guy in Montreal about 2 years ago for Jazz Fest, but I got sick and could not go. Let's see. It was a rumor in my high school. One of my teachers went to Woodstock. Everyone guessed the old hippie art teacher. It was the stoic math teacher. Kids would troll in class. Don't try the brown acid. My first live music experience was those Peruvian flute bands in the mall. I went to Bass Fest and saw the Wiz in Jefferson '05. My first concert, Elvis Presley in Odessa, Texas. I was about 13, and it was great. U.S. Festival in '83 was a fun time. Very cool. Ona. AC/DC. Oh man, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Oh wow. I want to see Primus just to watch Claypool to be a god on the bass. Let's go. SoFi gets back to 2106 right now. SoFi down 14 cents. 216 on GameStop right now, down 385. ATIP 923 down 3 cents. AMC 59.19 up 92 cents. Gores up 17 cents to 15.20. 23andMe up 26 cents to 11.93. The Dow's down 36 points. That's the low of the day at the moment. S&P up 1.4, NASDAQ up 29 right now. So the markets are a bit mixed with the Dow on the downside. The others a little higher, but not by all that much. We're getting more red showing on the screen as the morning is going on, but it's not seriously red. Holding AMC calls is gambling. Bama Babe Ona. I actually saw Elvis at his home in Memphis when I was about 5 years old. Devil King thinking of selling my ATIP and throwing it all on SoFi. Well, you do whatever you got to do. Pat D's, I saw Motorhead live before Lemmy passed away, but first concert was Kendrick Lamar when I was 18. When are you starting your third channel? Guitar Lessons with Bruce, laughing out loud. I remember seeing BTO, Bachman Turner Overdrive, when they had just released their second album. And they were still playing universities. And this was the last couple of gigs before they started playing stadiums because that second album had hits and hits and hits. And we were watching Suzi Quatro. It was Suzi Quatro first, BTO second. And we watched Suzi Quatro. Incredible. What an incredible show. And I said to my buddy, I don't know if these guys can outdo this show. This Suzi Quatro show was pretty incredible. And the funny thing was that what was cool about it was we were all sitting on a gym floor. We were just in this giant gymnasium for this gig, and the guys were on the stage at the end of it. It was maybe 3,000 of us, and it was like a Friday night. And I'm on the floor near the exit doors, and the exit doors open up, and in come these four guys. Bachman Turner Overdrive. and they're standing there, and they're just on the side, and they're kind of looking around, figuring out their bearings, trying to figure out where to go. And I'm kind of pointing up to them. You got to go up there, like, just down there. And off they went. And the Suzi Quatro's playing, and the lights are going, and the smoke machines, and the crowd's having a great time. And they're making their way down the side. Nobody noticed them. I noticed them. I recognized Randy Bachman. And I go, that's Randy Bachman. But even if I said anything, you couldn't hear anything. The noise was impossible. But they walked their way in, and they got to the backstage, and their equipment was already there, and everything. The roadies had everything set up. And then Suzi Quatro finished, and about 20 minutes later, they came out because there was a bit of an intermission. And then they came out, and took about 15 minutes, and they just dominated. They just took over. It was awesome. Bachman Turner Overdrive, absolutely phenomenal show. And the hits, I mean, the song after song after song, the audience is going nuts. Yeah, they were playing stadiums not too long after that. Fantastic. Anyway, what can I say? What are you if you're a shill for AMC? An anti-shill, kind of like an anti-hero? Yeah, I don't know how that works. If you're not a fan of AMC, you're a shill. But if you are a fan of AMC, you're not a shill, but aren't you shilling for AMC? Like, really? Bruce, can you explain how SoFi is being shorted if there's no shares available to borrow? Well, it's just like GameStop and just like AMC. You buy call options, you write options, or you buy calls, and then you keep selling stock. I don't know. There's ways to play this game. What can I say? 21.12 on SoFi, down 8 cents. GameStop 216.23, down $4. ATIP down 3 cents to 9.23. AMC 59.05, up 78 cents. Gores is up 30 cents to 15.33, and 23andMe is now $12. 23andMe is touching $12. The high of 12.04 on 237,000 shares. Nice to see 23andMe touching 12 again. Good morning, Uncle Bruce, Jen, and Bruce. Groupie, Bruce, is there a type of is they type to start a mosh pit in the classical music? Oh man, what a love story for the ages. Yeah, what do you call a drummer without a girlfriend? Homeless. I saw a statistic a couple of years ago that 1 in 9 drivers at any given time are under the influence of drugs or alcohol at any time. Isn't that incredible? It's scary, isn't it? And let's see. What was this? I wish they could do automated generated covered calls for live YouTube. Hi, Uncle Bruce. Yesterday I saw the Samsung Pay is sponsored by SoFi. That's interesting. These guys are into everything. SoFi, they're everywhere. They will be huge. They're going to be a huge banking outfit. A common name with every American. I mean, SoFi will be as common as Bank of America or Wells Fargo. A lot of people will have SoFi as their primary banker, and for other items as well. Yeah, credit cards, stock trading, all that stuff. Shill, switch, engage. Ryan Coke, Uncle Bruce has good taste. Seagram's VO. Seagram's VO and cola was my preferred cocktail until I stopped drinking around age 23 or something. 22, 23, 24 is when I sort of didn't want to really even have a social drink any longer. And the big reason for it was 2 reasons. I just found that if I had 2 or 3 of these, I would get these tension headaches in the back of my neck and the back of my head here. I just wouldn't feel right. And the next morning, I just felt awful, just really tight and stiff and just not great. Too much sugar in everything, I guess. I don't know. But what also did it for me was I went for a doctor physical. I had to get a physical for an insurance policy, and I had to go to see a doctor. And I had not realized, it didn't occur to me that this good life I was living from age 22, 23, 24, this stockbroker life, I'd put on some weight. And of course, you feel great in your 20s. You just feel fantastic. You feel invincible. Anyway, he was asking me, are you in good shape? I said, I think so. He says, well, can you touch your toes? And I tried to touch my toes. And I was like 6 inches short. And normally I'd be within an inch. I have a lot of flexibility. Couldn't do it. He says, do you jog? Do you work? I said, no. He says, well, are you drinking alcohol? I said, just, casually. I have a drink with a client at lunch. I'll have one. I might have 1 or 2 in the after work. He says, well, you may find that if you quit drinking a little bit, you'll probably drop 10 pounds in that midsection of yours. And he's pointing at my belly, and I'm going, I have a belly. He said, that'll disappear pretty quickly. And so I basically stopped very quickly after that. And I didn't miss it. And within about 3 months, I had lost 12 or 15 pounds. And my gal, Jennifer, is going, your face looks so much thinner. Like it's really evident that you've lost some weight here. And then, everywhere else. And I noticed my pants were, holy moly, I had to put the belt all the way and now it didn't look good. The pants were all wrinkled. So I had to take them in I had to get them taken in by my tailor. That really made the difference. And that convinced me, I don't need this. And so, yeah, I don't miss it. It's all good. Let's see. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Should I sell some Gore's holdings, 16 calls, since merger vote isn't until the least? I wouldn't be doing it. No, I would not. Bruce, you should see the latest ads before your videos. Laughing all Desperate Housewives type of stuff, really. I don't get to see ads before my videos, of course, because I'm creating the show. But on the videos themselves, I don't think they'll show me the ads they show you. They're targeted at you. So you might get ads that no one else gets or very few other people get. I don't know. It's getting very sophisticated right now. Samsung, SoFi working together. How about that? SoFi, 2105 down 15 cents. 216 on GameStop. 923 on ATP. 58.89 on AMC. Still up 62 cents. Gore's at 1538. Emmy, 1191. All right. Pink Floyd, H15. Wowee. Wowee. All right. Let's see. My first concert was Nickelback in '01. It was free. Okay, it was free. Rest in peace, Sam Kinison. I agree. Tony, first show, Disturbed Music as a Weapon tour. My dad snuck me in through the smoking section under his coat. I was less than 10 years old. Buddy Guy was one of the best blues performers I ever saw with B.B. King. I was 13 for my first concert, Queen, in 1978 at the Buffalo Auditorium. Oh, I saw at the Buffalo, not the auditorium, but there was a like a concert hall in Buffalo. It wasn't the auditorium. I saw Ohio Players and Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was a show. Earth, Wind, and Fire and Ohio Players. Wow, that was pretty cool. My buddy and I from Canada came down, and we were about 20. And we were probably the only two white guys in the audience, and that was unique. We were well treated. Buffalo was wonderful. The people in Buffalo were great. The audience members around us, we were having a great time, and they noticed how we were enjoying it. Talking to them before the show, and the kids were great. The show was fantastic. Yeah, I had no problems. But Buffalo was distressed in those days. Warren, it was my first. My first was the Beatles right after Hurricane Dora passed through Jacksonville. Wow, I saw McCartney and Fish play at Bonnaroo. Let's see, I love Bach, from Neil Young to rap, German heavy metal, if it appeals to me. It's all that matters. That's right. Led Zeppelin, Boston Garden, someone got hit with a beer bottle and they canceled the show. Oh, no. SoFi and ATP are making me sweat nervously right now. Uncle Bruce, what happens when you write an option in the money? Is it immediately exercised? No, it's not. There's no guarantee that if you write any option, it'll ever be exercised at any time until probably very, very end of the contract's life, if it's in the money. But no, if you write a contract in the money right away, there's a chance you could get exercised, but there's no guarantee you will, because even now, if you take a look at GameStop right now, you can buy $200 call options. You can buy 190s, 180s. They're out there. They trade all the time. They're in the money because there are people who only want to trade the contract. They don't want to exercise the contract ever. They only want to trade it. They want to buy it for one price and sell it at a higher price. And that's what a lot of option traders actually only want to do. They do not want to exercise any of these contracts. They only want to get a difference between what they pay for it and what they can get for it. There you go. SoFi and TIP are making me want to buy the dip. TBA SPAC merger vote has passed yesterday. They're now going to Iron Source. Anyone who knows about them, Goldman is part of their own. Don't know what that means. Bought 200 more SoFi. Can't wait for the squeeze. $20.98 down 22 cents. GameStop going up. It's $217.53 down 287. It's going up again. Stevie Ray Vaughan, rest in peace. Let's see. My playlist goes from Handel to Tupac and to Dolly. Uncle Bruce has a Tom Jones story about BTO. What a legend. Yeah, I got BTO stories. I got Tom Jones stories. Oh, we got all kinds of stories. We all need to put pressure on the hedgies with SoFi. Short squeeze coming, just buy up that stock. Dana would have been another dream concert for me. Lucky you. Let's see. Julie, Blue Oyster Cult at Michigan State University in 1978, started an hour late. All band members stoned and drunk out of their minds. Didn't play a note, just staggered around the stage. I left. Drugs not for me. How about that? Rodrigo, great volume on SoFi for the first half hour. Need this to rip. Let's see. Dana, Pat, Jolene. Alice Cooper, welcome to my nightmare tour. Early 70s. Oh man, I'm totally shill shocked right now. Short squeeze would be great, but don't take SoFi position based solely on that. What price is a good time to get into SoFi? Haven't jumped in yet anytime. These prices are great. It's a $30 stock plus. My mom's claim to fame is that she saw the Beatles in Boston in '64. Dana, it was insane because they were the number 4 tour, and our HCP were on the Californication tour, both bands in their absolute primes. Perry Page, my first concerts were Phil Collins and Prince, both in Chicago, both in the 90s when the artist plays every instrument on the stage during the set. That's unreal. Inspirational, encouraging. Now, says Mark. Eddie the Shill, after all this naked shorting, I imagine soon Citadel will allow their employees to go to work naked, be coherent with company's vision, laughing out loud. Pat, I sold 4 $30 SoFi calls for January 22 and 2 2250 Gores calls for January 22. So SoFi calls and Gores calls for $3,000 premium yesterday. I bought more SoFi. What do you think of that? So you sold 4 SoFis at 30 and 2 2250s for $3,000. Wow. And bought more SoFi. Hey, you're loading up on the stock. This is it. You're letting the option players give you more stock. There you go. Damn it, Jim. Okay. I watched US Open last weekend, and there were tons of SoFi commercials. Very good. Even my dad knew about SoFi when I told him about the IPOE, made him buy some, and he has a nice little sum there. Shills on the range. I was never really a fan of drinking. How can I get rich without being patient? Please advise. Well, once you're patient, you have to be even more. Once you're rich, you have to be even more patient. So you better get used to it now, because once you're rich, you will always be rich forever, and you should be patient with that. You should allow that to absorb into you. So, be patient getting rich and be patient being rich, and you'll be a very patient, calm person, live a long, healthy life, and you'll be fine. Uncle Bruce, what is the biggest risk on writing calls on a SPAC like SoFi? Well, SoFi isn't a SPAC. It's now an online banking company. It used to be a SPAC company that they bought out, but that's beside the point. For January 22, if it surges, do I lose money? Look, if you write a call option on SoFi, say a $35 call option, you're offering your stock for $35 until then, plus the premium you're getting now. So if you're getting $4 a share, you're getting $34 or $39. You're writing a $35 contract. That's the limitation. You can't make any more than that. If you get the stock goes to 40 or 41, you're not getting the 40, 41. But if you get exercised when the stock breaks 35, say it goes to 36.50 and you get bought out at 35, you've already got this $4 or $5 a share in your hand right now. So you've actually been paid 35 plus 5. You got $40. It's trading at 36, 37. Turn around, buy the stock back right away. Take the money you have, buy the stock back, and now write $60 contracts for 4 or 5 months if you want, and take in a bunch of money for those. That's your downside. How bad is that? That's not bad. That's pretty good. Yeah. Anyway, what can I say? Its cost to borrow this stock is 244% interest with limited amount of shares as of yesterday. Kind of expensive, isn't it? $20.99 on SoFi, down 21 cents. GameStop, $217.19, down 321. See if GameStop has any kind of momentum going for it. AMC is up 49 cents to 58.76. Gores up 29 cents to 15.32, and 23andMe 11.90, up 23 cents. The Dow's positive again. It's now up 16, and the S&P is positive, up 6.8. The Nasdaq is up 50 points so far today. Anyway, you can't touch your toes at 4'8". I got short arms. I got really short. Like I have raptor, velociraptor arms. Yeah. So trying to touch your toes, so it's very difficult. And we opened a SoFi account because their checking account has a higher interest than any money market savings I could find. How about that? If you don't drink alcohol, you lose water in your body. If you do drink alcohol, I was about to say, if you do drink alcohol, you lose water in the body. So you need to drink something without alcohol at the same time during the party to feel better. But yeah, smoke weed, a good sativa is good for party. There you go. There's excellent drug advice. Thank you very much for all of that. I've never been able to touch my toes. It's witchcraft to me. I can sit on the bed and I fold my legs. I can touch my toes. I'm all good there. BTO, taking care of business and working overtime workout. Can we get a 6970 picture of Bruce in his prime? No. Before Uncle Bruce videos, I get all the time the eToro ads, all the time before Bruce's videos. British shilling, same. I could lose 50 pounds and my hamstrings would still never let it happen. Oh man. I tell everyone that my first concert was Metallica, but technically it was Taylor Dane at the Six Flags Auditorium. I just picked up my first SoFi shares at 21 bucks. It's supposed to go up now, right? Yes, straight up without any interruption whatsoever. If it doesn't, there should be an 800 number you could call somewhere. Thanks, Uncle Bruce, for all your recommendations. Well done. 2106. You're going straight to the moon. No part. There'll be no stopping the stock now. Beautiful. I was 15 and my first concert was Pink Floyd, open air Munich Olympic Stadium. Wow, your shills are old, says Andrew. Your shills, wow, your shills are young, says Shaky. Yeah, baby. What can I say? With enough support, SoFi is primed for a short squeeze. It's 21.10. It's squeezing right now. That's cheap booze, I heard. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Hang on a second here. There we go. Oh man. I tell everyone my first concert was the Metallica. I saw Aerosmith at the Maritime Academy Gymnasium in Cape Cod. There was hardly anybody there when I saw Aerosmith. How about that? That was that one there. Let's continue on. Let's see. Brucey, get those SPAC stock lists, made them fancier for you. Bought some more SoFi this morning, yet again, up 550 now. I do have I've done that. I've got, check this out right here. Aaron made these up. Thank you, Aaron. Let me show everybody this right here. Look at that. This is Aaron's put this together for us. Uncle Bruce's stocks and ETF picks. So you've got Apple, and then down below is the logo, and Cisco, and Facebook, and GameStop with the diamond there. I like that. Home Depot, IBM, Intel, Microsoft, Micron, and SMH. How about that? And then he made up this one for us for the SPAC pack, Uncle Bruce's SPAC pack. Now done and not done. So in red, ATIP is done. It's now ATI. And then there's a fifth wall, which is going to become Smart Rent. There's Gores. Then there's 23andMe. Then there's NSH. SoFi, SVAC, and VACQ, which is going to become Rocket Lab. So you can see in black, they're not done. In red, they are done. 3 done, 5 to go, with Gores up next for sure. And we're waiting for the others to announce and get done. So that's pretty cool. You gotta love that. That's handy. Thanks, man. The best concert I ever saw was in the 1990s. Crosby, Stills, and Nash opened for the Grateful Dead. 109,000 people packed into Rich Stadium, Buffalo. What a party. That would have been great. Mike McDean, The Clash, 1980, Aberdeen Capital was my first concert. My portfolio was dipping huge with GameStop. Then I started writing calls and diversified into SPACs. And now, on any day, the dips don't hurt as hard with extra cash on hand. There you go. We've got SoFi at 21.10, down a dime. We've got GameStop at 218.40, moving up. Down $2 now, but coming on. We've got ATIP at 9.36, up 9 cents. AMC at 59.35, coming up again, up $1.08. Gores 15.50, up 47 cents. That's moving higher. 23andMe, it's 11.79, up 12 cents. The Dow's up 38. S&P up 8, and NASDAQ up 57. And Jennifer is up and about. How are you?
I didn't realize what time it was. I'm a little late this morning.
Oh, you're up a little later than usual, but it's nice to see you today.
So we are, as of this moment, we are the hot spot in the province.
Ooh.
And we're heading to record-breaking temperatures. We're forecast for 41.
106 Fahrenheit next week for our highest day.
Yes.
They told us a couple days ago we were going to hit 100. Then they said 101. Now they're saying 106.
Yes.
So
42 and 43s in some areas of the interior.
Whoa.
Yes. Which means hot in the day, rain in the afternoon, and thunder and lightning. Come on, wildfires.
Oh, no. Oh, no, not again. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Summertime.
Those people on the houseboats, loving it.
Oh, the on the Shuswap
Yes.
lakes.
We used to do that
Jennifer
every
and
year for
I.
a few years.
Jennifer and I have a wonderful arrangement.
How have you and Jennifer stayed married for all these years,
How
Uncle Bruce?
how has Uncle Bruce and Jennifer stayed together for 45 years?
45 years this year.
45 years.
76. Yes.
76 to now. How have we done? One of the there's many secrets because there isn't just one, but one of the secrets was that during the 80s and the 90s, Jennifer's family would love to rent a houseboat for a week at a time and head into British Columbia and take a whole bunch of food and booze and stuff. And grandma and grandpa and the kids, which Jennifer was one, all of her brothers and sisters and then other would hang out, would go out on a houseboat for a week. And Uncle Bruce did not have to come.
That's right. The spouses. The first year the spouses weren't invited.
And
it was like being 6 again. It was so awesome.
And so,
it was so
Jennifer and her family could do the boat holiday thing, and Uncle Bruce would stay back in Calgary.
That would be your holiday.
And it would be my break because I would be golfing with my buddies or
eating as much ice cream as you wanted,
or just hanging out in the condo or apartment we were renting, and I'm working. I'm at work. So there was a week off for me of just quiet, being a bachelor kind of guy, and just eating what I want when I want, watching on TV what I want, whatever. And then Jen would come back, and she'd be just tanned up and or burned and you know, and we'd hear all the stories of what happened and stuff, but I didn't have to be there. And now it continues on with camping. Jen goes camping with her sister and brother-in-law and in their big fifth wheel, and I don't have to go. I don't have to be, and no one is angry because it's been 40 years.
I don't have to babysit you.
Right?
You don't want to be babysat.
No. No.
You don't want to sit in the river all day.
Nope. And even when Jen Jr. was with us, Jen and Jen Jr. would go camping. Yes. And again, it was completely acceptable, normal, not a problem. Everybody happy. Yeah. And
in the summer, the kid and I, we would do the relative tour because it was too hot to stay in Palm Springs. Yeah,
I mean, we were in Palm Springs, so I would fly them. They would fly north, and they would spend the summertime in Alberta with relatives and friends, camping here and hanging out there. 30
degrees,
30 Celsius, chump change. It's 85 today. Oh yeah, well, I'm down at 115. I'm down at 115 weather. I'm loving life in Palm Desert. They're having a great time camping. Anyway, I hear your water just about done.
It is. So what's it going to be?
This bagel.
What's it going to be?
I'm thinking.
Because it's like a real bagel
with cheese on it.
Cheese on it.
I'm thinking it's a meat bagel.
You think it's ooh?
Yeah, with that mayo. You know that mayo on it.
Do I still put a slice of cheese in it when the cheese is on top?
I don't know.
You might be extra burpy.
Maybe not. Maybe just the meat only.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's give that a try. Okay, we'll try a protein cheese or cheese protein, or I don't know how to call it. See what happens. Anyway, yeah. My first concert was The Who, says Carter. Oh, man. I have 10 $15 Nash November calls that spiked to 1,000 in profit at one point in a day or so. Would it have been possible to sell them, roll them further? Probably not. You might not have been able to go longer on it. They weren't any more longer available. So there's no point in that, and there's no time pressure to make the move anyway. Plus, the stock has done nothing yet. You wait till it really goes. SoFi 21.15 down a nickel. GameStop now 219.48, only down 92 cents. ATIP up a nickel at 9.32. AMC 59.02 up 76. Gores at 15.47 up 44, and 23andMe 11.89 up 22 cents. That's what we got right now. Van Halen, AC/DC, Ozzy Osbourne, Monsters of Rock in 1980 UK. Oh my gosh. Anyone know how to sell calls on Saxo Trader Go? About 100 GameC, but it won't let me sell calls. I have no idea. Metallica at Candlestick. Oh wow. They on the Day on the green, candlestick was my first journey and triumph. Wow. Damn it, Jim. I did something weird. I bought SoFi strike calls, $25, July 20s, 10 contracts for $1.60. Then I sold 10 calls, strike $30 for $1.30. So I guess I essentially got that contract for $300. So you're long at 25 and you're short at 30 is what you're doing right now, and you're in the middle at this point in time. John, SoFi is advertised all over major PGA golf tournaments, then Super Bowl, SoFi Stadium this season. I love it. They are aggressive. The world will know all about them, and there are people actually silly enough to short this stuff. It's amazing. Does it make sense that if you're writing calls on heavily shorted stock, like GameStop and AMC, and the written calls fall in the money, I don't understand this question. I don't get this question. Hang on. Does it make sense? Does it make sense that the getting exercise is basically a guarantee, as those shares would be used to cover their short position? Well, if your stock goes up in price and you're now in the money, you're gaining on that until you get to the money. And you got your premium already, so that's added in, and then you get taken out. You're a winner chicken dinner, and you just roll over and buy back in and write new contracts. That's the deal that you're signing up for if you're writing a call option that goes into the stock, goes into the money, I guess. SoFi's up 3 cents now, 21, 22, something like that. Perry, interest rate on SoFi is almost 300%. What are these shorties thinking? They're idiots, and it's wonderful. Let's all be patient millionaires like Bruce. I'm not a millionaire yet, but I'm a hundredaire. I might be a thousandaire. I might be like a couple of thousandaire. How about that? That's cool. Thank you, everybody. More inspirational, encouraging. My wife asked me what I wanted for my birthday. She said she was going to spend $200. I said $200 in my investment account, so I used it to buy SoFi. I can't sell the wife's birthday present. Hold, thanks, Bruce. Gary, would have loved to see Journey with Steve Perry. AB, I heard it used to be a thing. If the whole family was employed by IBM or Boeing, directly, indirectly, a gift to a newborn or a kid was shares in the company. There was a thing way back in the 50s and 60s that grandparents would buy grandchildren a one Disney share certificate. They'd buy one share in Disney, and it would be a beautiful work of art, and you'd have it framed in your bedroom. And the kids would each have a share of Disney throughout their entire lives as sort of a future, growth thing. I don't know. Dana, yes, not the same now. I was lucky to see Steve Perry many times in the Bay Area. Better to buy 2022 or 2023 calls on SoFi. I'm tempted to buy either calls for when this pops. Well, if you don't pay too much in premium, great. You might want to buy in the money or very close to the money. 21.32 up 12 cents on SoFi. It's turned right around. 221 on GameStop. It's up $1.25. It's popping right now. ATIP up to 9.28 now. AMC up 59.34. My screen's turning green. We're all over the place. Gore's going up 15.64 up 62 cents. And 11.86 up 18 on 23andMe. New York's only up 14. The S&P's only up 7. The Nasdaq's up 51. But stocks we're following just turned green beautifully. Can you show your list of stock picks again? I have a couple of hundred more to invest. We've got. Let's see here. Here we go. We have the stocks and ETF picks right there. Screenshot that if you can, or take a picture with your phone. There you go. And then here is the SPAC pack right here, done and not done. Screenshot that. There you go. And there you have them. So those are the ones. Those are the guys. Those are the companies. Incroyable. Good morning, everybody. Just missed that message. Where am I reading this? Sorry, I got to go all the way back. Here we go. Good morning, everybody from Cam. I click on the Stock Markets with Bruce, the YouTube icon, and yell, Bruce! Wait, 30 strike, 10 contracts sold. Eddie, At this price, if we form a SoFi shareholders union, we will be able to get a seat on the board. I really think it's crazy. Crazy people who are gambling in options and have no idea how they work. Sharon, you want old? My first concert was the Osmonds at Nassau County Coliseum, opening up Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods. Oh man, I remember seeing the Stampeders in concert. The Stampeders in Kitchener, Ontario. From Calgary. Oh, they had those cowboy hats on, and oh yeah, the Stampeders.
Lethbridge, Alberta. We took the bus from Calgary. April Wine.
April Wine. I saw April Wine at the Kitchener Auditorium. April Wine. Yeah.
And then I saw, I guess it was probably BTO.
Bachman Turner.
Not guess who, but BTO in either Kamloops or Kelowna, because I always get the two confused.
Wow.
And then decades later, we saw Garth Brooks at Calgary.
Yes, that's right. We went to a Garth Brooks concert at the Saddle Dome in Calgary. We were behind the stage. And
which doesn't matter.
This stage is one of those that that wasn't like all amplifiers and you couldn't see the performers in front of them.
He walks around, he does the whole stage.
It was incredible. That was, I have to admit, that was the loudest, most exciting concert that we've been to, and it was exciting before it even started. It was just the anticipation of this incredible entertainer.
Was it during the Stampede?
No, it wasn't. It was not a Stampede concert. And I remember the opening of the show. He had a hydraulic lift that would bring him up to the stage, and he came up to the stage from the back. He came up at the back of the stage, and the lights went down. And then the music started, and the crowd was going nuts, and people were flashing their cameras and their cell phones or whatever already, and it was just building and building. And then the lights went on, and the band was on the stage, but Garth wasn't there yet, and the music was playing, and people were just having a great time and waiting for Garth to come out. And then all of a sudden, there were about 4,000 of us at the back of the stage. I would say maybe 5,000 out of the 20,000. And we got to see him first, and he came up through the floor, and he's looking at us. He's just pointing at all of us at the back, and he's going, and he's just going, "Is this great or what?" And he knows that we know that we see him, but the other 16,000 don't see him yet. And he's just going, "It's just us back here," and he's rocking away, and he's just having a party. He's just having fun with us for like a minute or two. Yeah. And then he goes out to the front, and then we hear this, wow. The audience just goes,
this sonic wave. Yeah.
We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. We were just rocking it, and then the audience went nuts. And then it was, 2.5 hours of nonstop, unbelievable performance. Just he was at his prime.
And if he had an opener, I don't remember who it was.
I do not recall an opening act.
Isn't that sad? Sorry, whoever it was.
We went to see Garth Brooks. That's all I know. That's all I remember. Yeah.
And it was the same thing. I went with my cousin to see Billy Joel. And the same thing. He comes up, his piano comes up, and he's playing the song, and he gets up and he says, "Yeah, I'm Billy Joel's grandpa."
I'm Billy Joel's grandpa.
Because he's a little bit older.
And the crowd going,
yeah.
Just exploding.
And with him, he has so many hits that he'd say, "Okay, which one do you want to hear? This one, or this one?" And by the cheers, and they would play that one because they're so tight.
Yeah.
They would play anything.
Play anything. Just one after the other. Oh, GameStop is running 222 right now. Looking good. It's moving up. No, that's these professionals are just they're the ones you want to see, and they are stone cold sober on stage. They are all together. Their band is all together. The days of the 70s and the drugged
7-minute drum solo,
the drugged out rockers on stage, those days are over. You can't get away with that anymore. You got to put on a show now.
Because Jim Morrison is gone, but no more Jim Morrison
lying on the stage,
wagging parts of himself at the audience.
No, those days are over. Or let's put it this way: they have one concert like that, and the tour is over after that.
They do that now, and someone would grab it and not let go.
Yeah, that's true. They would hang on for dear life.
Grab it by the root and swing around the room.
Swinging around the room.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! Yeah, I saw BTO, and they were all business. They were totally sober, and they put on a phenomenal show because these guys knew they were about to break out, and they were probably playing in not only to the audience of us, they were probably playing to concert promoters in the audience to see if these guys were worthy of stadiums, and they were, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
Real professional and really top notch. Tight. Oh God, were they tight?
Exactly.
Yeah, just like the album. So good. Jen, thank you so much. I'm going to try this cheese encrusted bagel with the.
I don't know what happened. Look how I cut it.
It's so thick here and so thin down here.
But the end game is the same. You're still getting the same amount of bread. It's just all on one side.
It's a bagel.
I cut it the same way I always do.
It's heading for the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's very tasty.
It's the heat. It's boiling my brains.
That's what it is.
I'm going to use that for a whole week.
The heat's boiling my brain, man.
That's right. I got that card. I'm playing it. Okay.
Incredible. 21.44 on SoFi, up 24 cents now. GameStop 221.45, touch 222. We're rolling. ATIP 931 up a nickel. AMC 59.38 up 111. Gore's up 15.62 up 59 cents, moving higher. 23andMe 11.85. Fifth Wall 11.84 up 2 cents. Vector down 2 cents. Navsite down a penny, and Starboard unchanged right now. The Dow down 12.5 points. So there you go. That's what's going on right now. Eddie the Shill. Queen concert in 08. Wow. First concert was in the 80s. The first concert was that 80s band Night Ranger sings Sister Christian at the 4-H fair. They weren't on the charts anymore, but they were fine. They were doing what they love. And these bands from the 80s and 90s who are still playing, and these guys are in their 50s, they're phenomenal. Some of these musicians are phenomenal. Nice diamond on GME. Let's see. Is there a reason for picking Intel? Seems that they are losing market share. I like Intel because it's cheap. It's really cheap, and they're a prime recipient of the U.S. government assistance deal that they're doing to increase chip production. Long-term investment. That's why they're at a really cheap price on a PE multiple, and I think they're on the they're a buy now. They're so low that they're a buy now. They're not overpriced. That's why I like them.
Do you want this fan on, or are you happy with that fan? I turned it cool.
Oh, if you got that going, I'm good. Yeah, because it feels good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you know if it changes, but it's feeling great.
Preventative cooling going
on. $1 Billion Babies. Alice Cooper, first concert, early 70s, San Diego, should be Bruce's theme song. AC/DC was my first concert. Oh, man. Auntie Jen. People are happy to see Auntie Jen here. Thank you, all of you who are sending wishes to her. She loves you back, believe me. 21.35, 21.38 on SoFi, 2.20 on GameStop. Howdy, ma'am.
I have a couple of quick stories. The AC/DC comment got me. My nephew is the ultimate AC/DC fan. And when he was going to the University of Calgary, he was living in our basement. And his radio was set to the heavy metal channel, and it would come on. And I didn't know at the time, but his vent came right up into our daughter's vent in her bedroom. And she's telling me, first of all, he would let her watch movies that she should not have been watching. So she's terrified of big-headed UFOs to this day.
How old would she have been at the time?
3, 4.
3, 4, 5 years old.
Yeah, impressionable.
Those impressionable years, yeah.
So she's telling me, Mommy, I can hear this horrible noise in these voices, and I'm like, oh. Here comes my family into play. But I could hear it the one morning. She says, "Mommy, listen, listen, it's in here." And sure enough, it was AC/DC coming through the vent. So I'm pretty sure to this day she's not an AC/DC fan. But remember, he won through the radio station. He won a trip to LA to see AC/DC.
He did. He did.
If you ask him, that's probably one of the best things that's ever happened.
Highlight of his
to
lifetime.
him.
Airfare, hotel, tickets to AC/DC in LA
And
from Canada, from
and I
Calgary.
think like a VIP.
Oh,
come
probably
back
backstage.
With, 5,000 other people, but yeah, one of those.
He would have been, what, 18, 19, 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 19.
Yeah.
Thought he had died and gone to
He
heaven.
had died and gone to heaven.
Yeah.
He did die and go to heaven. Yeah. Yeah. Hell's bells.
And now he's, respectable with 2 children and a job at the school board.
And he's done so well. Well, you know what? He was always going to be successful because he loved tinkering with computers. He was our in-house technician at age 20.
He started answering the phone. "No, I will not fix your computer."
I won't. Yeah, I will not fix your computer. Stop. Everybody, stop bothering me. He is now a full-time professional IT man who will
Looks after
never
the
be.
school board's computers.
He looks after the entire school board's computer where he is, all the systems.
Loves
Never be unemployed. He will always be employed. He has benefits up to as high as they go, the pension benefits, everything.
Yeah.
And married with 2 kids and doing great.
And I'm sure he still listens to AC/DC.
Oh, of course he loves AC. This
Those
is very
poor
day.
children. I think that's child abuse. I should call social services.
Yeah.
That would be my old boss would come over into my cubicle and say, "There's something wrong with your computer. What's wrong with your computer?" I'm like, "No, my computer's it's working fine." He goes, "No, there's that horrible noise coming out of your computer." Because I was listening to the country western station. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was one of those electro music people.
Yeah, and he knows who he is. We know he watches from time to time. You know who you are. Yeah. Jen hasn't forgotten that.
So we just agreed not to ever, talk music.
And he didn't push it too much with Jen because he knew who ran that office when he wasn't there, and he wasn't there a lot. So yeah.
Yes, it was his good-natured teasing that possibly I could turn it down a little bit.
A little begging.
His ears were bleeding on the other side of the wall.
That's right.
Yeah.
The old office days.
The old office
Yep.
days. Will they ever go back? It's going to be so interesting.
I'm talking about that this morning.
Yeah.
Why go back? Why or why not?
I mean, there's you do like the standing around the water cooler bitching, even though they don't do it around the water cooler anymore. But you know what I mean. That we are social creatures. We like doing that kind of thing. But we're getting pretty good at doing it over Zoom and things like that. But yeah.
So much of the world is more comfortable now.
Well, and the employers are more comfortable. I think before they just didn't feel they'd get a day's work, that people would be at home sitting on the couch eating bonbons and watching the soaps.
Right.
But actually they're more productive at home than they were in the office. I don't have to spend Lord knows how much time for some of these people. I enjoyed it. It was a 20-minute walk for me to get to the building.
Yeah.
And that was just a nice little decompression zone going and coming.
For you, it was easy.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, for those who had to drive in with 45-minute each way parking, paying for parking.
Take the bus or the light rail.
Not fun.
Like that's a whole other kind of humanity.
It's an hour and a half a day out of your life you'll never get back,
Yeah.
and it's meaningless time. And then there are some fellow passengers you could really do without, and you would pray that a certain someone would not be on the bus today,
Yes.
like they are usually at this time on the bus, because they're just offensive in so many ways. I mean, how many of you have that?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens
Yes.
to all the space in all those buildings. Coming from a management point of view, we like having bums in the seats. When you own those big buildings, you want people in them.
Yeah. Downtown Calgary, it is a ghost town. It was a ghost town before COVID because of the oil collapse.
Yeah.
And it's gotten worse now. So downtown Calgary is as big as downtown Denver, if not bigger, for how many high rises there are.
We're
And the
like
vacancy
Houston. We're
rates,
very similar to
yeah, vacancy
Houston.
rates are
Yeah.
35-40%. They're just devastating and have
And
been for
they
years.
must be having to organize themselves, really organize themselves for the food courts,
Mm.
because you don't want to suddenly have a full building Thursday and Friday, and these people expect, like always, to go to the food court for lunch or for coffee, and the food court's going, "Where did all your people come from?"
Yeah, I mean,
So hopefully they're organizing and sharing with those people when they're going to have people
boy,
in the
I
buildings.
don't know if that's even that coordinated. And you
Or
know,
maybe it's just 25% across the board.
yeah, you want to run a food business in a food court in downtown Calgary, you are taking your economic life in your
Yeah.
hands because you have no idea how many people are going to be there. You don't know how much food you should order. The food
Yeah.
you order has only a certain shelf life, and how much you're throwing away. How short are you? Are you going to run out of food on day 3 versus? I mean, it's just a nightmare. And it's
And you have the
staff.
food trucks outside competing.
Yeah, and then you got to hire staff and maintain staff.
Mhm.
How do you do that?
Exactly. Oh, it's going to be so much fun to see how this falls out over the next couple of years, see how the economy responds, and see if, especially in Canada, our new budget is really tilted towards females and female businesses, or at least non-binary businesses, BIPOCs, BIWOCs, and we're gonna get women working, because women are the basis of any economy.
Don't mess with this woman. Don't mess with her.
That's right. You teach a man how to do a job, and he knows how to do that job. You teach a woman how to do a job, and everybody knows how to do that job.
And everybody new will know how to do that job.
That's
because
right.
it'll fall to her to train the newbies.
Okay.
Unbelievable. True stories.
There's my Fembo remarks. I'm off.
The Fembo remarks have been generated. Bill Coyne is saying, wow, just thinking back in the 70s, I actually had hair. Oh, no. Gordon Jen, you always sound like an inspiration. Now, new all-time high for Facebook today at 342.60. Bruce told you to buy it at 255. By the way, I did tell you to buy it at 255.
There you go.
Jen, you hang in there. Thank you for that bagel. It was delicious.
Oh, excellent.
Yep.
The cheese wasn't too burnt on the outside.
No, it was fine. It was very good. Very nice. Uncle Bruce, have you talked about I'm late to the party. Have you talked about this new NSCC 02 rule that went into effect today? I have not talked about it, and I don't know what the effect of it will be. I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen here. I just want the stocks to go up. That's all I care about. Let's just let them go up. Let's go higher. SoFi is up 19 cents to 21.39. GameStop is down $2 now to 2.18. It was as high as 2.22, so it's jumped a little bit. ATIP is up 4 cents. AMC is up 85 cents. Gore's up 55 cents. 23andMe back to $12 again, up 33 now. Jumping around. Let's see what happens. Okay. First concert, David says, Kingston Trio with my folks as a toddler. We saw him again 25 years later. Oh my gosh, Bruce, how much to shave your head on the air? I'm just wondering, what would it take, Bruce? What would it take? I have been bald. I have shaved my head before. I did the bald look for about 3 years. I think I did that for 2 or 3 years, and I did it back in about 2000 and over a decade ago. Yeah, I think it was around 2011 until 2015 or something like that. Around up to 2015, I had the bald look. And then I decided to just let it grow back, and this is all there is, and that's it. So I'm not. I would do it if Jen wanted me to, but Jen doesn't want me to, so it stays on. Hey, not to bagel shame you, Bruce, but I had 2 eggs, avocado, salt and pepper on a ciabatta roll today, and it was glorious. I'm sure it was. BW, Bruce, you played Oompa music, so how stoned did the attendees of the Elks Lodge actually get? They would get drunk. They would be old school, Second World War, Korean War guys and gals, and they would be pulling out the drinks like you can't believe. But everybody having a good time. If you've never seen ZZ Top live, you must see them. Don't wait too late. They are not getting any younger. Great musicians. Saw a really good special on them on one of the paper stations. I can't remember if I saw it on Netflix or on Prime, but it was a pretty good recap of their careers. I really enjoyed it. Bill Coyne, Bruce, much love to you and Jen. Thank you, Bill, and the same to you from us. Michael, Uncle Bruce, if I don't have enough shares of, say, Gores, and I won't have enough to buy 100 anytime shoes soon, would it be worth exiting the shares to pick up the option? If I can't get into the 100 share thing, should I just buy the options instead? Theoretically, you could. You probably get several contracts for the amount of money you've got into the stock, I guess, so you'll have more leverage. But you definitely want to be way out there. You do not want to be anything close. So January or later at the absolute least. Kerry, after last year being evacuated for 5 weeks, no fires this year, please. Right on. Actually, I've got this weekend problem with my ex-family-in-law. So annoying. I don't know what this means. Oh, Wally, thumbs up for Uncle Bruce and Jen. Thank you, everybody. So who will make you the bagels when Jen family week gets back? Yeah, I would buy enough bagels in advance and I would be able to make my own bagels. I can make a mean bagel. No problem there. Brucey dancing around in his underwear, house to himself, finally allowed to see P standing up. That's right, peeing in the shower and not worrying about getting it on anybody's leg. It's all good. Remember, Jen hits, so you never pee on her leg. She would hit and hit badly. You don't want to do that. All right. How did you find emergency bagels? My Jen takes a week-long girls trip every year, and I take a week-long guys trip, and even sometimes vacation together. How about that? If most options are not exercised, why do in-the-money calls always have the stock called away at expiration? Dr. G, that's what I was trying to explain to you, that during the run of the options, as they are trading along, they likely won't necessarily be exercised. But when they come up to expiration, that's when they generally all get exercised. Now, shilly, bang, bang. Uncle Bruce, ever grown out a beard? Oh, I tried to do the mustache thing and do that. I just don't like how it gets itchy and stuff. After about 4 or 5 days, I can't stand it. So it's just not happening. Never going to happen. My portfolio looking like a yo-yo with a $200 string today. SoFi going green. Woohoo! 21.40, up 20 cents on SoFi. Woohoo! We've got Gores at 15.62. Come on. Hey, Uncle Bruce, what do you think of the price action on ATIP recently? Don't seem to be the big boomer, not yet. Well, 9:30 right now. We're hoping for the run. We're waiting. We're patient. We are patient millionaire wannabes, and we're going to be there. How about that? GME is getting close. Meatloaf at the Roxy Club in New York, only 1,000 in attendance. Best show ever. Oh man, what a deal. Just sold my 716 call options on SoFi for a nice profit. Bought SoFi stock with the profits. Now own 100 shares and bought more 22 Jan calls. Thanks, Uncle B. Beautiful job. Getting a run and making some money. Nice. Pat, first concert, Grand Funk Railroad in 1974. Became a musician after that inspirational show, and now 46 years later, I'm still writing originals from my home studio, playing every instrument. You gotta love that, Pat. That is awesome stuff. Bill, Carrie, just me babbling, but you can buy a spray foam to coat your home with. When there's a chance it may catch fire and still insulated, wash of later better than nothing. I have no idea what's going on there. There's discussions going on that are beyond me. Billy Squire and Rat at Philadelphia Spectrum in 1983. We're going green. Yes, we are. We're going off. Can't wait. Let's see. GameStop back to 220. We're 217.88 right now, unfortunately. And let's see what's going on here. Thank you all for being here, hanging out with me today. Thank you for all your support, your kind comments, words, everything. I can't even keep up with the comments anymore. I got to see Garth and Tina a couple of years ago. 1980 Day on the Green, Blue Oyster Cult, Black Sabbath, Pat Benatar, Heart, Journey, Aerosmith, and more. Oh, yeah. How about that? Let's see. Anyone ever seen Yoko live? Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. Sean Lennon's music's all right. Speaking of Yoko, Jim Morrison. Yeah, I had to check out Garth Brooks' concert dates just now. Sold out across the board. Bruce, those days aren't over. You clearly haven't seen Perry from Jane's Addiction and Scott Whelan from STP. I've seen their sets cut in half due to their, quote, condition. Oh, no. What is up with the likes for Uncle Bruce? I come on 2 hours after he started. We aren't even close to 1,000 likes. What's going on? Does people hate me again? They don't like me? 715 thumbs ups right now is what we've got. And boy, I would sure love to see a little pop on that if that could be done. Are any of you out there able to give me a thumbs ups this morning? That would be really nice. 727 now. If you're able to do it, that would be awful kind of you. 733 now have come in. We have 42 dislikes. I do the best I can. Thank you, everybody, for helping out. We're trying. Yeah, 765 thumbs ups. We still need 230 odd to get to 1,000 now, 771. We got a ways to go. We do have 1,125 watching right now, so there's a shot at 1,000. I mean, 788 right now, so we're only 212 away. We got a shot, but boy, I'll tell you, I have to work for it, I guess, these days. It's just the way it is. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Thank you, though, everybody, for being here. The Dow's up 261, S&P's up 4.3, NASDAQ up 28. And we are seeing some of our stocks go up. So thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Anyway, what can I say? We just bought tickets for Santana, Earth, Wind, and Fire, June 22 for something to look forward to. Beautiful. Fantastic. My first concert was Radiohead when I was in my 30s. Didn't know who they were. Sold parts to their sound guy, and he got me in VIP. Oh, nice. Queen tour with Adam Lambert. Now I think he nails it. Hey, Uncle Bruce, where were you able to use the bagel boost design that I sent you a little while back? Not sure. Not sure what that one looks like anyway. I had somebody sent to me. Hit the thumbs up for Bruce. Hey, Bruce, if someone buys 100 shares of AMC, like $58, turns around and they sell a call for $60 for the next week or so, you just want to collect the premium and get out. There is a downside. Well, if you buy at 58 and then you sell at 60 for a quick hit, let's say you get $4 or $5 a share, and you get taken out at 60, then if you get taken out and you end up with like $63, $64 for the whole thing, you made $5, $6, $7. If you're buying at 58 right now and selling a $70 call for 3 or 4 months and bringing in $15 or $20, that just reduced your cost down to $38 to $43 a share, depending on how much you get for those contracts. That's an idea. It's up to you if you want to play this game. Let's see. Any thoughts on dividend stocks to bring in income? And what stocks do you like for this? IBM, buy IBM, take the dividend, and write long-term call contracts. You can always look at that. What's going to modern concerts? I went to see Mahler Symphony at the Barbican. Okay. Anyway, good morning, Jen. Let's see. British Shilling is a great name. Let's continue on. I got to move forward here. I've got so many messages I'm missing out on. Rita, thank you for becoming a new member of this channel. I should have mentioned this earlier. Just haven't been able to keep up. Welcome, Rita. Welcome. And is writing a call the same as selling a covered call? Yes, that's exactly what it is. Thank you. Yes, writing a call is it's basically writing a covered call. You have the stock, you're writing an option against it, writing a covered call. It's the same thing. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rita. Let's see. Continuing on, if I can get any closer to the current comments. Thank you. On that note, Bruce, I worked 16 hours from my home yesterday, picked up an extra shift on the second shift, then picked up a 8-hour shift today, all because I could roll out of bed and start, not drive. How about that? Making more money too. I think NVIDIA and Apple are going to dominate this space. Very good. Let's see. Thank you. Continuing on. Behind every great Bruce is a great Jen. There you go. Women are the basis of life. That's right. Let's continue on. Bruce, I have a July 16 SoFi put that has increased in value 57%. Do you recommend I buy to close, sell to open, or roll? You're confusing me now. You say you own a July SoFi put. You own one. You have one. It's gone up in value. Then you sell to close. That's what you're going to cash out. You're going to sell to close. Okay, let's go. Continuing on. What's going on here? Thank you. Bruce is the Facebook shill, obviously, because he told people to buy it when it's $255 and it's now $348. So he's obviously a Facebook shill. The worst kind. The worst. We're up 25 points on the Dow, up 5 on S&P, up 22 on NASDAQ. We've got SoFi up 18 cents to 21.38. We got GameStop at 218.82, now at 219 again. Maybe it's going to take another run higher. We got ATIP at 9.30, up 4 cents. AMC up $1 at 59.27. We got Gores up 50 cents to 15.53. We have 23andMe 11.84, up 17 cents. That's what we got right now. Okay. Anyway, Uncle Bruce, interesting how people only half listen to you. My sister bought a GameStop call rather than write a GameStop call. Confused what you were saying about GameStop. She did get out with a nice profit, though. Well, great. I'm happy to hear that. Now she can turn around and write the call. I don't know. Whatever. My first concert, Debbie Gibson in 1987, Southern California. Oh, my God. What can I say? Let's go. Uncle Bruce. Not everyone can do the bald look. Telly Savalas, Vin Diesel, and Uncle Bruce save money on haircuts. If I had the melon, yeah, I would. I got my hair cut the first time. I had to shave. Had the hair all taken off by a barber, and then I would shave in the shower. And I got so good at it that I could shave without looking. I could just be in the shower and feel it. I could just feel it where it would need a shaving. Then I would be in front of the mirror, and I'm always looking for anything I missed. And I have Jennifer come around behind and see if there's anything missing, and then she would do a little shaving for me with my shaver. And I would have that bald look. And then after about, I would leave it for like 4 or 5 days, and I'd get a little bit of fuzziness, and then I would shave it again. And I did that for about 3-4 years. Yeah, 3-4 years. I didn't mind it, but, this is what I'm used to looking like as well as a personal thing. People would look at me and go, "Did you do something different?" And I go, "Yeah, I shaved my hair off." "Oh, yeah, you're bald. Oh, yeah." Then people go, "Are you ill? Have you got cancer? Are you in radiation therapy? Like, why are you doing this?" Anyway, Uncle Bruce was out in Port Townsend this past weekend. One of the shops there served stuffed bagels, peanut butter and grape jelly, like a stuffed crust pizza, but way better. That's interesting. Dave is saying, "Michael, I'm in it for 300 shares at 10, so it's not a huge loss right now, but no short interest percent right now, and the stock is just flaccid since the debut." Ona, you talk about a humbling experience. Look in the mirror and comb your hair, and it's in your hairbrush. I just cry and cry and cry. I hear you there. This past year and a half has turned me into my own barber, and I like it. Let's see here. Let's go. My first concert, Styx, Bad Company, and Billy Squier. Saw them in 2001 when I was about 15. Let's go here. Shillions. There you go. Shillions. AMC up $1.07. Gore's up 45 cents. All righty. Let's keep going here. Shillionaires. Let's go. My first concert was Metallica, someone is saying. How's your hearing? I was only 14 and went with my older brother. It was epic, man. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. FWAA up, down, up, left, right. Let's see what else is going on. We have 746 thumbs ups. Hopefully we'll get more. 770, 783, 790 thumbs ups. Thank you. 798. Thank you, everybody. I saw Garth Brooks in 2002. I was 17, and he came to South Padre Island. It was a free charity concert, and it was 38 degrees and raining. Man, what a show. I've heard Garth Brooks sells more seats than anyone in the music business. I have to be forced to be there. I'm not a country fan with nature. By nature, I'm not a country, real country fan. But respect Garth and his music, and there are some tunes that he's done that are just fabulous. I do enjoy his music. But Jen and I got an opportunity to go to this concert, and I said, "Oh, I'd love to go see him. I would really, really love to go see him." And I'm glad I did. I have no regrets. I would be happy to go to another show. Happy, happy. But I gotta say, as close as we were, I don't know if I would ever get that close again. That was really something. And we were younger. He was younger, and the energy in that stadium was unbelievable. It was just crazy. We have tickets to see Billy Joel at Fenway Park in August. It was supposed to be last year, but the show was rescheduled. That's going to be awesome stuff. Going to be awesome stuff. In a nutshell, this new rule, NSCC 02, is a rule that enforces automatic margin calls. So that means the Apes win. It's only a matter of time until the short squeeze happens for GameStop and AMC. That would be fine by me. $59.11 on AMC, GameStop $217.90, $218.22. 21.30 on SoFi, up a dime right now. Let's see. Thank you guys for being here, giving us some updates that you're hearing about. We're giving you whatever we can come up with. Anything new that we come up with, let you know. Let's go. Uncle Bruce, do you think that the SoFi pipe investors shorted the stock before the merger to hold their position and turn a profit, explaining the high short interest? No, they no, that's not at all. No, none of that going on. Let's go. Yeah, I bought my calls. How do we write calls? Well, yeah, you have to take my class. I think if you're asking that basic a question, you're going to want to take my class or classes, and we'll help you figure this out, and we'll put you on the right track. Anyway, there you have it. Thank you, everybody. Uncle Bruce's shills. Visceral, why don't you live? Don't you mean Uncle Bruce Shillis? Bruce Shillis. Dad always told me, find a girl smart enough to teach you things and dumb enough not to know she can do better. This has really worked out well for me. Can I get paid to watch Uncle Bruce? It's hard to multitask with this pesky work thing going on. It's really bothering me. What can I say? First concert was Kenny Rogers in Roanoke, Virginia, maybe 1982. Gotta know when to hold him, when to fold him, you know. Yeah, smart man, your dad. I found with $60 wall clippers, anyone can be bald. Okay. Let's see. I lost my hair to chemo. Yuck. 845 thumbs ups and counting. They're coming. Uncle Bruce, what I tell people, my first concert was Metallica, their Black Tour. The reality was my actual first live concert was Yanni in Orlando in 92. Yanni. Oh my. Let's see. I do not like Garth Brooks because he's done his first wife wrong. Okay. Let's see. I'm quickly becoming a dollar menu heir. No more scavenging in the dumpster behind Wendy's. Thanks, Uncle Bruce. You are welcome, Mr. E. Moving up right now. Remember Garth Brooks when he almost went as Chris Gaines, his Yoko moment. Have you ever seen the I think it's a two-parter. It's a two-part documentary kind of a show that was done on Garth Brooks. I think it was on Netflix, and it's pretty good. I think each show is 2 hours long, and he narrates his life and his family and friends and his all the people in the music business. His band people are interviewed for this. It's fantastic. Even his ex-wife, she's interviewed for it, along with Carrie Underwood. His kids, his 3 daughters. It's a fantastic two-parter, and it really explains and takes you back to his youth. I mean, right as a kid from Oklahoma, and how he made it there, and then he went to Nashville, came right back, and then went back to Nashville later, starved and worked his way around to try to make it go of it. And all the behind the scenes stuff. There's some really neat talk about the whole episode. If you haven't seen it, check it out and then decide whether you like him or not. As a person, I really enjoyed it. I've watched it a couple of times, and I will watch it yet again because I find it's a very, very good. I liked it. I really liked it, and I found the people so sincere. The entire spectrum of people they talk to, about him through all the years of knowing him, and all the tales and behind the scenes stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. What happens behind Wendy's stays behind Wendy's. Zero Boro on SoFi. Let's go. Chris wants to know, I have 100 shares of ATIP, but only about 30 SoFi. Would it make sense to move my ATIP over to SoFi at these prices for SoFi? You got to figure out your own movement. Just these stocks are all going up. In my opinion, they're all going higher. All of them. I wouldn't recommend them unless I really believe in them, and I believe in them, and I really think they're going to go substantially higher. But you have to decide for yourself what it is you want to do and how you want to do it. And there it is. All right. It's okay. It's all okay. There's really no wrong answer. But then again, you got to make up your own mind what you're going to do. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here so much. What's the latest on FWAA? I don't have anything new. We're waiting for their shareholder vote date, which will be probably another couple of months. I'm shilling with Bruce. Let's see. But the FA, the stock is going up. The fifth wall is now 1184. It's doing great, but it's still a ways off for that deal to get done. So anyway, what can I say? I'm down for your class. How much will it cost? I'll let you know. We will be announcing all of this info in the very near future. Members will find out first. I'm totally down for your class. Beautiful. Garth Brooks, The Road I'm On, playing on Netflix, and add it to my list. Absolutely. You got to watch that right there. Playing The Road I'm On. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And you don't have to watch it all in one sitting. You can, watch 30 minutes, watch it. Really good stuff. And I found it interesting from beginning to end. And I encourage you to watch it all. Be in no hurry. Just relax and just let it play. And you will learn some stuff about this guy, and you will understand his humble beginnings. I mean, he wasn't born Garth Brooks. He wasn't born that guy. But boy, I love so many parts of the whole episode, all these two parts, including the Ireland thing. It really got to me. Ireland gets to him, and it gets to me. I really am blown away by the Ireland story. I will say no more. You'll have to see it for yourself. All right. Wonderful, guys. Let's see. The best song ever by Phil Collins. I can feel it chilling in the air tonight. Chill on, chill on. See, there you go. Have you looked at this deal, Bruce, the Bill Ackman deal? I have, and I'm not that excited about it. Let's move on. What else is going on? Uncle Bruce, somebody mentioned pipe investors. Why would pipe investors sell right after? They can't sell right after. They can't. They're locked up. They've got restrictions. There's a reason they're being allowed to buy blocks of the stock. It's because they're signing restrictions with the company to not be able to sell it right away. A lot of people don't know this. They think that these shills can just dump it on us type of thing. No. Anyway, there you go. Let's see. I got SoFi an average of 18, so I ain't moving. There you go. Garth is no Bruce Dickinson, but it is what it is. Bruce Dickinson ain't no Garth, I guess. So, there you go. 21.30 up a dime on SoFi today. GameStop 218.52 down 188. ATIP 928 up 2 cents. AMC up 61 cents, 58.88. Gorse 15.30 up 27 cents. Had a nice shot, took a bit of a dip now. 23andMe 11.84 up 17 cents. Up and down and up and down. That's what you got. We're down 29 on the Dow. Up and down around the break-even line. Not going with any direction today. This market is a mixed market right now. It's kind of trying to figure itself out, I guess. And that's where we're at with this entire dealio. And what can I say? And Microsoft is now a $2 trillion company. One analyst says it's not going to stop there. I agree. Microsoft will keep growing in value. It's one of my favorites. I've recommended Microsoft for a while now, along with Apple and others. And it's definitely going to keep right on going. Apparently, the Supreme Court has ruled in favor of a former Pennsylvania high schooler over vulgar Snapchat posts, apparently. Interesting. And here we go. AB is the reason for buying some call contracts 6 months out around merger date for these SPACs is because the original investors are locked in until then. Example, highest rate of price growth in the first 6 months. That's part of it. The other part of it, of course, is that the reason I recommend these SPACs is because of how heavily funded they are right off the bat. They got a ton of cash in their bank accounts, and they are going straight out to do more business. And so they're sitting on a lot of cash, and stock's restricted. And I think they might actually make deals in the first 3 to 6 months as well that could dramatically affect the upside of the stock as these assets become part of these public companies and will now trade at much higher multiples than if they were private only. Yes, that's why I want you in early. Thanks. Knew there was a lockup. Thanks for clearing that up. You got it. I got shills there playing, and I'm gaining some dough. Bruce's bagels with grape chili. What Uncle Bruce said is true. I wish I bought even more IPOE when it was 1470. Why didn't you yell at us harder, Uncle Bruce? You yelled at us and said you're gonna say to us that we're gonna say I should have bought more. I never did get enough. I should have listened to you. But you didn't listen to me, or you didn't quite take it all in. Whereas with IPO, they can dump on you day one. Original investors are locked in for 6-9 months. Again, anyone who originally bought the SPACs at 10, of course, a free trading stock. Anyone who buys in the IPO on an IPO has free trading stock right away as well. And when these things double right off the get-go and go right up, they start dumping. So that's how these New York brokers, these investment bankers, they keep all the IPO stock for their favorite clients that they owe favors to. They might have put them into a couple deals that have lost them some money. Now they put them into these IPOs. They double right off the get-go. They sell them out of those, make them a bunch of dough, and they restored their relationship with their client to keep on going. And you get to buy the IPO stock at 140 when it was underwritten at 60, when 6 months earlier they were doing deals at 20. Yeah. Every day you said, Bargoon, I did. I wish I made more money so I had more capital to invest to make good companies that it is. You will. Enzo, it'll be just give it 6 more months. A year from now, you'll be rich as can be, and you'll be in the position you want to be in, and you're going to get even richer. It's going to be so much fun, Enzo. We're going to have so much fun. FS Panu, Uncle Bruce, I have a long call option on ATIP expiring November. I bought it at 370, strike price 750. Shall I roll the expiration date to February for 58 cents US? Can you get a $7.50 call contract at 58 cents US? Or are you talking about a $10 contract at 58 cents US? I'm kind of curious. Now, I don't mind you doing it because if you can sell at a high price and get in at a low price with more options, you end up with more leverage with even a $10 strike. I don't think that's a problem. That might be a way to go. Ona, do you think that the SEC will enforce the new laws? Have they been enforcing the old laws? I don't know, my dear. I do not know. I got in on IPOE at $14.95. I caught that bargain. There you go, British. Shelling, start small and grow it, Enzo. We all have to start somewhere. That's right. Isaiah, I knew I should have eaten that week. Why were you eating food when you could have bought stock instead? What are you thinking? Did you take back your empties like I told you? I mean, did you cut your neighbor's lawn for a quick $20? I mean, think, McFly. Think what would happen to I had it in my homework in your handwriting. I get kicked out of school. You don't want that to happen, do you, McFly? Do you? No, of course not. But Michael Hunt, 750 February calls for ATIP are $3.50. There's what I was wondering. GameStop, that many. SoFi has language in the SEC filings that say insider lockup expires July 1, then they'll be able to trade 88% of their shares. SoFi language on their insiders, but on the pipe financing, might be different. Again, you got to keep an eye on all these. So many different people, so many classifications of paper. FS Panu Uncle Bruce. I mean, for another 58 cents US on top of the initial 370. So you can buy. Well, now that's not a bad idea either. That's not a bad price. But why don't you take a look at the $10 ones? Can you buy $10 contracts for less than what yours are going for? And can you get more of them then? So you can get more contracts with a $10 leverage with a longer contract. Do that. I would recommend you do that. I am approved for level 2 training on Fidelity, but I can only figure out how to do long calls on buy to open and sell to close. I'm approved, but I only. Are you trying to figure out how to do this? I can't quite understand what you're saying. You're going to be selling to open and buying to close if you're going to be a writer, but I'm not sure if that's what you're trying to do. Don't know what's going on. Eating is cheating. Buying stock instead of eating is the best diet I've ever went on. There you go. Thou shalt not shill. There you go. Same here. My average on SoFi, 1620. Living off of raw noodles so I can buy as much ME as I can get. The best shill. Vegas, no lawns. Oh no, maybe you should sweep driveways, vacuum people's homes, wash windows, stand at intersections and sell cold colas, sell flowers. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. Park cars. I don't know. James told some story. He had millions, went bankrupt, worked service jobs, took his money to the stock market, made tens of thousands, started the business, became a millionaire again. He bought calls. Free thinking secularist. Thank you for this donation. Best 2-week swing entry. Thanks, Uncle Bruce. By the way, BW, can I get a tab? How can I give you a tab if you don't order anything? Yeah, I can't. I gotta give you a tab and order something. Well, just give me something without any sugar in it. FS, will you look at that? Thank you, Uncle Bruce. Need more thumbs ups for Bruce here. Free thinking, secular, strong channel, my dude. See you for the evening broadcast. Rita, do you own 100 shares of the stocks you were trying to sell to open? Where are we at right now on the thumbs up? 887 thumbs ups right now, guys. I need 113 more from you. In the most desperate way, I have 10 minutes to go before the show is over, and I would love to close the show out with at least 1,000 thumbs ups in our possession. We now have 894. I need 106 more thumbs ups. If you could kindly hit that thumbs up button for me and get me over 1,000 before we close out the show in 9 minutes from now, that would be pretty cool. 898 now and counting. Only 102 to go. 907, 93 left to get. Just 93 thumbs ups more. Please hit the thumbs up button for us. 914, that's 86 to go. Keep them coming, guys. Thank you so much. Let's see here. What else is going on here? Do you own 100 shares of stocks? Are you trying to sell to open? GME is asking. Random. Are VACQ calls 10, 15 too soon? October's, I can get around 1,000 shares upside if I go to October versus half of that for the January calls. Well, they don't have a date yet for their deal, but I don't anticipate it's going to be that much longer, but it might be until August. It might be in July. I mean, I don't know. That's why I like you to go longer out. How do I change my username on this chat? It took my real name and no one else uses their real name. Does anyone know how to do that? Can anyone help read up for that? I don't cut grass in Vegas anymore after I watched the movie Casino. Paul, a lot of people are still mad at Garth in Ireland pulling out 5 dates because he couldn't get 7, but he'd sell out in a minute if he decided to come back. Ona, 894 now on the thumbs ups. Rita, call Fidelity. They walked me through calls for like an hour. Fidelity customer service is great. Michael, there's no meeting announcement for VACQ, so October may be pushing it. 898, 932. The thumbs ups are coming. Come on, Apes, give this guy some thumbs ups. SVAC, Sector Center Investor meeting, but with no date labeled. Stockwits, etc. saying due to the options interest, the vote might be soon. Rita, I think you need to change it in YouTube or Google Plus. VACQ is a bit wonky. You might lose out too much on the premium if you go with October ones. DM, change the first and last name and the Google account you're using on YouTube. Ona, 950 thumbs ups and counting. Rita, you have to go to your YouTube settings to change your name and picture. I use my real name picture. I am not fussed at all by it. There you go. We are now at 962 thumbs ups. We need 38 more. Can you bring me 38 more thumbs ups out there, people? Get me to 1,000 thumbs up. So we have 7 minutes to go on this show. 963, 37 left to get. Can you help me out? Get me to 1,000 thumbs ups ASAP. Let's hit that 4 handle. There we go. We need 33 more. We got 967 in the house now. 969. We only need 31 more. Thank you, everybody. Hit the thumbs ups for us, please. And thank you. We're trying to get to 1,000 thumbs ups. 1,076. 24 to go. Only 24 thumbs ups to go. Thank you so much, everybody. 978 now on the count. 982. 18 away from 1,000 thumbs ups. 15 away from 1,000 thumbs ups. 15 to go. 985 done. 986 done. 14 to go. Hopefully these are coming in as I speak. 989. We're 11 away. How about 10 away? How about 9? How about 8 away? How about 7 away? How about 6 away? Are we maybe 5 away? Maybe 4 away? 3 away? Could we be 2 thumbs ups away right now? Could we be maybe 1 thumb up away? Are we just 1 thumbs ups away? I see 994, 995. Are we that close? Are we going to make it? Are we on the edge of greatness? 997 now. Here we are. It's going to happen, and it looks like we have made it to the 1,000 level. Thank you all so much. Getting me to 1,000 thumbs ups. I appreciate it. That is so kind of you. All of you. Thank you. That is good stuff. All right. And let's see what's going on. 21.39 up 19 cents on SoFi. GameStop down $1.95. ATIP up a penny. AMC up 82 cents. Gores up 26. 23andMe up 4 cents a share right now. We have the Dow up. Down $6.7 points. Excuse me, 6.7 points. We have S&P up 2.1 and NASDAQ up 21. So it's a mixed market here. Very flat, generally speaking. 218.50 on GameStop. Trying to get that to go higher. And let's see what's going on. Michael Glitch is saying, Michael, I'm starting to wonder if Januaries are too soon for VACQ, Gores, and going to be like early August. I have around 10 grand in calls. I'm waiting to see if I need to roll. Gores will have their meeting July 20. They'll probably be trading around January 25. Between now and then, though, the Gores could go to $20, and you could already be making a nice buck on these even before the vending. Let's see what happens. VACQ, I don't know. Waiting for the official date to be announced. And like I said, I say January because for the options, I'm thinking July, August, September as your timing, and then we kind of go from there. Guy, Uncle Bruce, why am I out of money on red days, but when I have money, everything is green? It must be the shills. It's the shills. Watched the GameStop film yesterday. Have you seen it? I don't know which one you're talking about. More likes than people currently watching. This is awesome stuff. Thank you, everybody. Come on and help me out. Who else forgot that changing your YouTube name changes your name publicly on all your Gmail accounts? I was Tony Cheese Whiz for anonymity purposes until my HR lady emailed me asking if I was okay. Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. Thumb it up for you. GameStop movie. I think Jen is safe, though. I don't know what that means. Rita, you have to change your name on YouTube, and you also have to own 100 shares of the stock to sell the call to open. Let's see. Have a great break, Bruce. 1,000 rock and roll bagel shills. It's a good ratio of watchers to the thumbs ups. Yes. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. I think the safest way to buy calls on these SPACs, the ones that don't get as much press like Matterport, is probably wait until merger listing date is set in stone, then call shop. I don't know. See y'all later. The cheese float made it. Let's see. Thank you, guys. Bruce, what do you think about a tax on broker transactions? While I'm not a fan of taxes in general, I don't see how they would care considering all those 50-cent commissions they rake in for options. I don't know either. I'm Taxes are taxes. How does one roll an option? Is it just selling what you have and buying another one further out? Yes, but with some of the platforms, the trading platforms you have, you can do what's called a roll transaction, where they give you they give you these buttons, and you click a roll transaction, and they ask you, okay, what are you selling and what are you buying? How much you want to buy for what you're, how much you want to get for what you're selling, how much you want to get for what you're buying. You put in your limits. You put in the order, or it gives you the bid and asks and tells you what price it can be done at. You hit OK, order's executed, out of one into the other. There you go, all done for you. That's pretty handy. Anyway, what can I say? How much are one-on-one classes? If you want to hire me for a 1 hour private consultation, a private session, those are $400 an hour, and I do them Saturdays and Sundays. Problem is, I'm now booking out to the end of July. I'm running out of time to offer these. Bruce, send us off with a memory of your first date with Jen. Oh my gosh, first date with Jen. Not enough time. I can't do it. Last weekend, I talked to a friend in the space industry about Rocket Lab, and he said they were doing some really exciting things, have a good future. I believe it. You know what? In case we didn't tell you today, we love you, Bruce and Jen. Thank you guys for that. Awful kind of you to say. The big question, though, if their stock will reflect how cool they are, that's another good question. So if I have a call contract with a $15 strike price, and I'm already on green, even though the stock is still in the 11s, if I were to sell, I would get those gains, or it'd have to be 15 plus. If you paid $2 for a call contract and it's trading at $3 right now, it doesn't matter where your stock is. It doesn't matter what the exercise price is. It doesn't matter what the expiration is. If the stock you bought at contract you bought at 2 is now a contract selling at 3, you sell it, you make a $1 a share profit, $100 a contract, $1,000 for 10 contracts. How many you got? Irregardless of what anything the stock does before you bought it, during the time you had it, or after. This is simply a transaction like buying and selling stock or anything else. There are people out there who don't buy stock. They only buy and sell options. They don't buy and sell shares. They play the stock market by buying and selling options. They want to believe in SoFi, but they don't ever buy SoFi. They only buy SoFi contracts. They go long on calls. They go short with puts, and then they try to sell them for a profit. That's all they do. There's people who do that with Apple, Netflix, Microsoft, Google, AMC, GameStop, Gores. Every stock out there has options. Practically every stock out there. And there are some people who only trade in options. They don't trade in any stock, and they don't have to. They don't have to ever trade in any stock. They don't have to ever do anything with the stock if they're trading options. They get in to get out. That's all they're doing. It's as simple as that. Now, you guys who own stock could sell contracts against your stock. For every 100 shares, you can write one contract. And you will sell a contract first at the best price you can get for it. And you are hoping to either buy it back at a lower price if the shares stay where they are, go a little lower, or at the end of the contract's lifespan, the contract is worthless because the stock never got as high as the exercise price you chose to write a contract for. And those contracts die worthless, and you keep all the money you got when you sold it in the first place. So if you sell a call contract for $350, that's $350 a share, $350 a contract, 10 contracts, $3,500. You don't buy them back. Stock doesn't go over the strike price you wrote them at. You keep all $3,500. Thank you very much. What a great country this is. Doc Brown, baby. Finally, 1,000 thumbs ups. Woohoo, well done, everybody. Let's see what's going on. I'm up over 200% on some SoFi calls. I'm still holding 21.40, up 40 cents again. And 219.17 on GameStop, only down $1. I'm getting ready to go off the air here. Thank you, all of you, for being here today. We have to re-ask this afternoon. Maybe, Bruce, quick one before you go. Which one do you think gets people more angry? Your AMC chats or your COVID vaccine chats? Sorry, I'm just poking bear before you go. Never mind. I'm so looking forward to the options class. I am so looking forward to conducting these classes. I really am. I am very much looking forward to doing that and getting them up and on our website, having them edited for you so you can watch them anytime you want. And then that way, a whole bunch of you newbies can just watch the classes. And you have questions about how this works, how that works, you'll watch. There's going to be a bunch of these classes created. You can watch 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whichever ones you want, or watch them all over all the time you want to take. And now you've got a permanent access to Uncle Bruce explaining these techniques to you and giving you the pluses, the minuses, and the ins and the outs, and the highs and the lows, and the laughter and the crying and everything else during classes. Where I discipline students that are there. I give it to them, but good. And you get to watch me do that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Have a good afternoon, Bruce. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Thank you for joining me. It was a good. Did I miss anything? Nope, nothing going on. You missed nothing. No classes need now. Uncle Bruce just let the cat out of the bag. Oh, okay, I'm still in. Dude, would not even believe what happened. I could use help on rolling contracts. So you just sell them and let them expire no matter what. Well, there's all kinds of things you can do. Catch you later. That's right, Sharon. Thank you. I will see you at 3 o'clock today, 3 o'clock Eastern time. I'll be back on for the last hour of trading. And then the first hour of the aftermarket usually is what we do. And I look forward to catching up with you. 21.41 now on SoFi, up 21 cents on the day now. The day's high, 21.50. So we are pushing that around right now, which is great. Volume on SoFi, 2.9 million, not heavy. So this stock can really go. I got some volume in here. GameStop, 219.05. And ATIP, 928. We got Gores at 1525 and ME, 1173. So we have a little green showing up here. Let's hope for SoFi to take a real shot, and they'll make you a bunch of money. Thanks as always, you guys. Thank you, and we'll see you later. Have a fabulous afternoon, everybody. Bruce is king of the shills. This shill. We'll see you later, and thank you for being here and catching us today. Shill you later, and let's get richer. As the greatest shill channel of all time, we'll just get richer. Have a good rest of your day or night. All you good people, thanks, Uncle Bruce and Andy Jen. Thank you, Wally's World, and thank you, Wally's Jen. All right, guys, we'll see you soon at 3 o'clock.